Since he entered the temple of the Holy Mountain, the guy had read over 3,000 books. He had read all of them, and wondered if there were any left. On the shelf, the boy saw a cup. He wondered if the old man had kept this fine wine for years. He thought it must be expensive, so he drank it without delay. He smiled and said it was good. Suddenly, something strange started happening. The guy didn't understand what was happening. His body and hands began to burn with fire. He didn't expect to die from alcohol at all. Suddenly the guy realized he wasn't dead yet. It turned out he was reborn. He wondered what the owner of this body had passed on. She's lonely and he's lonely too. They will live together from now on. The baby cried a lot. Her name is Lingxin. The girl decided he would be called Ling Fong. And so the boy's life began. Approaching the elder, the girl said that she wanted to know why this child couldn't use martial arts. He replied that Ling Fong's body is weak and his veins are very strange. If he starts training, his veins will crack and be destroyed instantly. This is his fate. He can never become a warrior. Calling the boy to her, Lingxin asked him to eat something. It would strengthen his veins. He obediently ate it. The boy said that Lingwu Academy sends this once a month, and his sister gives it to him to eat it. The elder said his veins couldn't recover, so let him not worry about him. The boys were yelling for everyone to look. The black sheep had come. They laughed and told her to get out of there. Ling Fong said he knew he was weak, but he would never let his sister get hurt. She asked him to stop. Something started happening to him. The guys were talking about how successful he was at destroying himself. It was funny. After apologizing to his sister, the guy said he didn't want to leave her alone. The girl kept saying he was a man and he wouldn't die. Suddenly, he lost consciousness. The guy thought about the fact that he was Wu Xing, the most gifted in Shenwu. He didn't expect to be reborn in this trash body at all. Looking at him, the girl was glad he was alive. She knew that he would not leave her alone. The girl couldn't hold back her tears. Turning to his sister, he wanted to say something. Interrupting him, she said that everyone said he couldn't survive. But Lingxin knew that he would not abandon her, and would survive. He thought about how she was a good sister, but she was bullied by everyone. She shouldn't have to suffer again. He decided that from now on, he wouldn't give her a reason to suffer. He would never forget the bullying of those three. This is the first time they see the world. The weakest in martial arts can shatter dozens of stones. What's even scarier is that the heavenly ancestor of martial arts can turn the world upside down. There are 9 stages of development: novice, warrior, spirit master, emperor, sage, honorable, and heavenly ancestor. So everyone on the continent has the biggest dream of becoming a martial arts fighter. Ling Fong, the most talented genius on the Holy Mountain, who had reached the emperor stage at the age of 30. The Temple of the Holy Mountain. Wu Mountain. The girl asked Ling Fong if he was hungry. She prepared some food for him. Let him drink it carefully. The guy asked if there was any food left for her. Lingxin replied that she wasn't hungry, so he could eat more. He said that his body was still recovering. He couldn't eat more than he should, because it would be a waste of food. The boy realized that it was the girl who was hungry, because she was lying about being full. Holding out a spiritual energy pill to the guy, the sister asked him to eat it. Ling Fong asked the girl where did she get such a pill from. She told that as the guy knows, she is in Lingwu Academy, and yesterday they gave them achievement pills. He wondered how the academy could give such a pill. The boy realizes that he would have to work very hard for such a pill. Ling Fong realized that he had made his precious sister suffer. By restoring cultivation, he would definitely change his fate. Guy kept telling himself that he had to start walking again. A healthy body is vital for cultivation. Turning this body into a warrior's body takes a lot of effort. He has only one way to get out of there. He needs to regain his health. Whatever it was, he had to go 10 meters. He had to change and go another 10 meters. Seeing the house, the guy wondered, and is this his walking limit? The guy's house appeared in front of his eyes. She asked why did he leave. The guy said he was going out for a little walk. When he saw his sister, he asked why she was soaked. She said she wasn't wet. Anyway, they're having fish for dinner tonight. The boy's face showed that he was overjoyed. After a month of practice, the guy yelled out that he finally finished 50 laps. Recently his limit was 40, now that number is 50. He was rejoicing that he had finally broken his own limiter. Suddenly, something began to happen. Ling Fong thought he was dying again. The boy wondered where and how he had gotten to. Looking around, he realized that this was not reality at all. He wondered where the hell he was. Is this his consciousness, or is this the warrior's soul? Is it the golden wine? Why is it there? The guy couldn't have died twice because of it, right? Ling Fong remembered that the Earth and Sky scroll had written about some special liquid. The golden liquid was odorless and tasteless, but it could split the heavens. One sip of this liquid could kill a wise man. The wine he drank before was sealed in the bottle. That's why he became so strong. The guy had drunk quite a bit of that liquid, hadn't he? He wondered then, why was he still alive? Did he drink so much? When he woke up, he realized he was alive. The guy wasn't dead, and his meridians had regenerated. They became like roots. He marveled at the effect of that water. Now his body was even better than the body in his previous life. Ling Fong thought that most likely no one knew about this water yet. He wondered what the limit of his body was now. At least 35 kilograms, he thought. Breaking the stones with his hands, the guy realized that with the help of water he had risen to a bronze body. Now, attaining a silver and gold body wouldn't be a problem. Now that he would meet those who had insulted his sister, he would be able to wipe them all out with his power. Looking around, the guy realized it was already night. He wondered why his sister still hadn't returned. As he got closer to the house, he heard his sister's voice calling him. Ling Fong realized that something was wrong with her. When he opened the door, he saw that the girl was lying on the floor. He ran up to his sister and asked if she was okay. Turning to her brother, Ling Shen said that if she leaves this world, he must live no matter what happens. Ling Fong didn't understand what was wrong with her. Her body was cold, but her forehead was hot. He realized that these were symptoms of a frozen soul. The cold chi is trying to displace her body's chi. The girl might die. For his sake she worked tirelessly. For his sake she had no time for herself, and as a result her illness grew worse and worse. Turning to her brother, she asked him to live a great life. After tying a belt around her waist, the guy said he would definitely cure her. He took her in his arms and said that he would not let his sister die. Now we must go to Mount Linwei as soon as possible and find the pill to help her. The guys shouted, who dared to come there at night? The guy replied that it was them, Ling Shen and Fong. They wondered why he was still alive. They all saw the guy destroy his meridians. Seeing the girl on his back, the guys said that it looked like she was about to die. Smirking, one of the guys told Ling Fong not to worry. If anything happened to her, they would help. The guy said he was there to get the cure, and he would kill anyone who got in his way. Calling him a bastard, they said if the guy made another move, they would kill him. But before he died, Yufeng decided to show him the skills of a level 4 cultivator. Watching this, the guys said that this trash had the courage to fight with a guy. This brat wouldn't even be able to withstand a single blow from him. Ling Shen asked them to stop. The guys were watching everything from the side. The guys started attacking each other. One blow sent the guy flying off to the side. His arm turned completely red. The guys didn't understand how could this be possible. Could such a scum like this really defeat Yunfeng? After the guy's two friends started running towards Ling Fong, the girl prayed for them to stop and stop everything. He yelled that if he wanted to, he'd kill the guy with one punch. Ling Fong avenges her sister because those bastards abused her. After beating everyone, they lay on the ground and didn't understand how in such a short time he was able to become so strong. Looking at him, the girl realized that he couldn't cultivate after all. The girl could see that she was getting worse. Grabbing the guys, Ling Fong said that if they doubted his strength, he could beat them again. With fear in his eyes, Yunfeng told the guy not to even think about it. His sister was in danger. He had to figure out where to put them. Rummaging through their pockets, he found a nice catch. It was a blood-hardening pill, just what he needed. After taking the pill, the girl said she felt much better. But the guy realized that it wasn't enough. This pill won't be enough to cure his sister. He needs to go to the valley and find fire herb and fire fruit. Turning around, he shouted to the three of them to get out of there, and not to interfere anymore. He hugged his sister, and told her it was time to go home. This place is in the desert. The boy thought, well, it's not as dangerous as he thought. He found the very same fireweed. Suddenly, from outside, he heard a painfully familiar sound. It was just a blue-eyed leopard. He's only at the 3rd level of a martial warrior. Happy, the boy thought he would bring this leopard to his sister. After a few blows, the leopard was defeated. Ling Fang decided that now it was time for him to find the fire fruits. He was already in the middle of the forest, but they were nowhere to be found. Suddenly, the very same tree caught his eye. It was them, the very fire fruits that would help his sister. Ling Fang sensed something wrong. The birds abruptly began to fly up into the sky, as suddenly, a golden lion appeared in front of the guy at Warrior Peak 1. This golden lion is very similar to a human. If trained well, it can be a very useful ally. The guy gathered all his strength into a fist. He was preparing to attack. Ling Fang thought it was about time, so he would go to his house today. With his first attack, he was able to hit the golden lion. Looking at him, the guy told him that he wasn't strong enough to defeat him. After another series of blows, he asked the lion what now. Either he surrendered or he had to die. The boy asked how about if he gave him some meat, and he would listen to him in return. The golden lion seemed to immediately become tame. Ling Fang saw that he wasn't so stupid after all. Just remember, if you go against him, you'll die. From now on, Goldie is part of their family. He has to look after the house and make sure his sister doesn't get bullied. It was a leopard for his sister. If the golden lion tried to eat it, he'd be next in line. The boy said it was time to go home. The next day the girl woke up early in the morning and felt that her fever was gone. But suddenly she looked around and saw a big, shaggy lion. And she cried out in fear, while Ling Feng was preparing food and heard a screaming voice. Running into the room, he asked what was wrong. The girl told Ling Feng out of fear that a lion had snuck into their house. Ling Feng told her not to panic. He said it was a guard animal he had brought with him. The boy asked him why he wasn't in his original form. But at that moment there was a flash and the lion transformed into a cute little Goldie. Upon seeing this little creature, the girl was stunned by its golden gorgeous color. With such a fine sense of smell, the girl smelled some delightful odor, but also notes of burning. Hearing this, Ling Fang remembered his fragrant soup, and ran outside with a shout. Holding out a bowl of soup, the guy told the place that this soup was made from green tiger. When the girl heard that, she was surprised to hear what kind of green tiger. But after tasting the soup, she was happy to have such a good event. That same afternoon, someone knocked on the door, saying, "Come out, garbage." The guy jumped up and asked who dared to bark in front of his house. Those were the guys the guy got. The guy asked them if they were here for more if they didn't have enough last time. The guys said their brother Foshan was gonna avenge them. And he's going to kick his ass for the guy hurting them. After all, their older brother is a genius at Lingli Academy who is a level 6 trainee. The boy didn't understand what they were saying, so he asked what a Foshan Bao was, because he had never heard of it before. But suddenly a girl ran out and asked Foshan why he was here. Foshan said he had come because her brother had hurt his brothers. Ling Fang, without waiting long, instructed the big Goldie to beat him up for him. Goldie only scratched Foshan and knocked the sword out of his hands. When they saw the lion, the boys wondered where he got the golden lion from. Ling Feng said if they had come for their deaths, let them die. Taking all his will in his hands, Foshan lashed out at the lion, calling him a monster. But the lion was only to be buried as Foshan begged for forgiveness. The guy told Foshan if he dared to provoke them again, he wouldn't get off that easy. Ling Feng went inside and started to show affection to Goldie, and said that he was rewarded today, that huge piece of meat. The guy thought the golden liquid was ready. And now he could handle 2,500 pounds. And with that strength as a foundation, he could finally learn martial arts. Now he only had to swallow the chi of the earth and sky. But everything happened so fast that he didn't expect to break through to the first level. Screaming with joy that he had already broken through to the 3rd level, he woke up his sister and little Goldie, and said that he was now ready to take the Lingui Academy exams. Lindu Academy organizes entrance exams every year. It is not difficult to pass them, namely, you have to climb Mount Linwei. Mount Linwei has 99 steps. And whoever can climb 5 steps will be eligible to become an outer disciple of Lindu Academy. And the one who rises 30 steps will qualify to become an inner disciple. And naturally, whoever manages to climb 50 steps will become a disciple of the main branch, and will be able to learn from all the elders of the academy. And if someone manages to reach the top, then he will enter the secret group. Balanan says that there he will be able to practice techniques that are over 1,000 years old. After all, he is a 4th level cultivator, and this year he will be able to climb 30 steps and become an inner disciple. But the girls standing next to him humiliated Blandon that he was only at the 4th level. And compared to their younger brother Liemo, he's nothing. The blonde man heard suggested to Liemo to have a competition on Mount Linu to see who was stronger. Liemo couldn't help himself and called Blandon an arrogant brat, and told him to stay away from him when he was climbing, because he would kick him. Ling Feng, who had studied 3,000 sacred mountain books, which were more useful than those from the Linu Academy, also came to this competition. However, it's still not enough to come back. After all, he needs to drink the chi of earth and heaven. The girls, seeing everyone, said that she needed the resources of Linu Academy to fully recover. Hearing this, the guy told his sister not to worry. After all, he's not the same as before, and he will definitely get into the academy. But the loud laughter of the guy's enemies did not leave him alone. Blandon asked the boy why he came once a year for a checkup. He can't even get to the 2nd step, can he? The guy asked in surprise who he was. The blonde replied that he was the one who would crush him. The guy thought it was funny and told Goldie that someone was looking for death. When Goldie heard the boy, he turned into a huge lion. Blandon was frightened when he saw him and screamed for help. But the master came to Blondie's rescue and stood up to his defense, and unleashed a mutual punch on Goldie. The teacher called the guy trash and asked him if he wanted to die. But the angry Ling Feng said he was ready to fight him. And at that time, the head of the academy himself came and told them to stop. It was the day of the test, and they didn't need any more trouble. The leader said that the grading rules are the same as before. Whoever climbs 5 steps in 2 hours will be able to become an external student in their academy. And the young people who could climb 30 steps, then they would be able to become inner disciples of their academy. Now the head told them to go and give their best. Seeing the mountain, the guy's sister was worried and said that the Linwei mountain had a natural pressure. Even level 4 cultivators had a hard time. And this boy's talent is so bad that he can't even make it to the top of the 1st rung. Liemo realized that it was very difficult. After all, he was only on the 1st step, but he couldn't move any further. But he saw Blondin up ahead and said he wouldn't lose to him. But Blondie let him know he was better than him. Liemo had only reached the 4th step, while the blonde man was already at the 5th step and mocked him. The competition observer said that Ayun was the first to become a disciple of Lin's martial arts academy. And with his strength, there's definitely a chance to become an inner disciple. But Liemo also made it to the 5th step, while Ha Liemo is only at the 5th step. And the beholder saw that he was already tired. But suddenly the woman noticed a girl standing in the crowd, and she wondered who she was, because she looked very provocative. But she didn't seem to be one of the children of the family. It was Ling Feng's turn. His sister told him that mountaineering is not an easy thing to do, you have to be strong to do it. But Ling Feng didn't want to distinguish himself. He told everyone to listen to him. After all, some of them were upset. I mean, not many of their family get very far. And he said he could bring them back. But not for free, of course. Hearing this, the sister asked the guy what he was going to do. The guy said he wanted to make some money, but one of the guys got distracted and said that Ling Feng was a very ambitious guy. And he offered him a gold coin, which he'd get if he threw Ian down. The guy's confidence was insane. And he said to the man, let him be sure, for he would bring him back down. But the watcher heard these words and wondered how he was going to bring Ian down. After all, he would just be humiliated. The sister told the guy not to be an idiot. After all, the pressure of the mountain is very strong. But the smile on the guy's face gave other assumptions. Standing in front of the mountain, Ling Feng felt that this pressure of Mount Linwei reached up to 600 jin. But for ordinary people, this is really a big pressure. The man who gave the guy the coin was watching him. He didn't know how Ling Feng would humiliate Ian, but unfortunately, thought Ling Feng, the pressure of the mountain is 600 jin, as at that time, a person at the bronze body stage can only endure 250 jin. The men couldn't believe their eyes because the guy was able to climb the 2nd step. But the men were sure that he would not be able to climb any further. After seeing Ling Feng's strength, the men were very impressed, because he was climbing so fast that they can't count the passing steps. The head saw this and thought he was a very talented boy. But his sister's support wasn't lagging behind either. Her shouts made Ling Feng gain more strength. The standing stranger saw Ling Feng climb up the 5th step in the blink of an eye. She thought he was a monster, but suddenly he reached Ayun and said that they had met again. But he said he was given a gold coin in return for letting Ayun down. Ayun was surprised how Ling Feng was able to reach the 10th step. Taking Ayun by the scruff of the neck, the guy pulled him down. But suddenly a man shouted and told Ling Feng to let Ayun go, and he doubled the gold coins. The distraught man began to resent the guy for pulling Ayun down the 10th step and ruining everything. Ling Feng said it was not his fault. After all the blame lies with their family. He just did his job. The man's excitement was huge. So he offered the guy another gold coin if he could get Liemo down. Ling Feng said that the price has changed now. He wants 20 gold coins for the second person. The stunned man blushed when he heard Ling Feng's offer. After all, this money was enough for a small family to live their whole life without worrying about poverty. But the other man said that his family was willing to pay him 20 gold coins if he managed to put down the second genius of the Achi family. Ling Feng, hearing such a suggestion, flashed up and brought down the second genius of the Achi family. But Ling Feng's rates kept going up and he was asking for 100 gold coins for the next person. But the same man came up to him and said that he would only offer him 130 gold coins if he let Liemo down. But suddenly a second man intervened and offered 150 gold coins. And it all turned into one big scandal. The first man threw him a sack of gold and wanted to down Liemo. The guy grabbed the sack and told him to consider it done. But at that moment, Fashnu appeared and threatened Ling Feng with his sword. But the guy was able to react and stabbed him in the jaw. After letting Liemo down, the guy kept raising the stakes up, and he was asking for 400 gold for the fourth person. But the men didn't have any more money. The guy got frustrated and started abusing them. But then the guy offered a bad option, and said that there were about 40 people on the mountain, and if the men wanted them to stay there, they had to pay for every 10 coins. And if no one pays, he'll send them all down. The men thought he was crazy. They wanted to teach him a lesson for it, but the dean himself was watching. Starting with the Ajia family. The man offered the egg casket and said it was very valuable to their families. Taking a little bit from everyone, the guy thought someone else hadn't paid. Seeing a stranger, the guy pointed at her. The guy asked what family this girl was from, because she should be paid. Seeing his insistence, the men laughed, and said that he would be in serious trouble. Standing in front of the girl, the guy asked what family she was from and why she didn't pay like everyone else. But the indignant girl asked him who he was. How dare he disrespect her? But the angry guy said he was the one asking the questions, not her. The girl called him baby and asked him if he wanted trouble. The girl didn't wait long for an answer and threw a punch, but she didn't expect him to be so strong. And holding her hand, she was very upset about it. The guy laughed and said that an old woman like her at level 7 would never be able to touch him. But the confident girl asked Ling Feng, can't he see how smart and beautiful she is, and yet they are the same age? The girl's nerves could not stand this rude fellow, and out of anger she struck the bells hard. But the guy took the girl's hand and threw her on his shoulder, saying that she was not his equal. When the head saw this, he was angry that Ling Feng was humiliating Ben Ming. Throwing her on the ground, Ling Feng asked where she came from, and told her family to come and get her. But the head intervened and called the boy stupid, and asked how dare he be proud of it, and treat one of their teachers like that. Ling Feng was surprised that she was a teacher. Since when could a 7th level person become a teacher, he asked. Madame Bing Ming is their new alchemist, said head. Although she is only 21 years old, her strength is extraordinary. Her development level in martial arts is average, and she is a student, and climbed the mountain to learn her talent. But Guy is an idiot and still pulled her down. But sister stood up for the guy and told the dean that Ling Feng didn't know much about the academy, and asked the dean to forgive her brother. Sister told Guy to apologize to Madame Bing Ming. But Guy's pride wouldn't allow it, and he ran away. Ling Feng ran away, realizing that after the way he had insulted the teacher, they would definitely not accept him into the academy, and that's why he has to climb the mountain to show them his skills. And now he must focus on climbing the mountain. After all, it would be too late if the Linu Academy expelled him from the trial. And now it's time to conquer this mountain, said Ling Feng. The dean said if it wasn't for his great talent, he would have disqualified him. But the girl said it was okay and she forgave him. The dean stuck to the girl's words and said he would leave him, saying that Ms. Bin Min is not the kind of person who should be offended. He should be grateful to her for forgiving him. But Bing Ming's cunning was impossible. After all, she had let him into the academy only to take revenge on him. Standing in front of the obstacle and clasping his hand, the boy told Mt Lin that he wanted to see her scenery from the top. When he calmed down, he caught up with the guys he had brought down earlier. When they saw him beside them, they were surprised at his speed. Ling Feng told them to hurry up because they called themselves geniuses. He said they should pay more attention to their reputations. Standing in front of step 29, the boy said he could become an inner disciple if he took one more step. As he stood on the 30th step, the men were surprised. After all, for the first time this year, he had become an inner disciple. Bing Ming saw Ling Feng climb 30 stairs. She wondered how high he would eventually climb. The dean said that judging from Ling Feng's strength, the dean thinks that he will climb 60 steps. Bing Mo said that the dean was very appreciative of Ling Feng's capabilities. After all, in the history of Ling Academy, there are only a few people who have reached the 60th step. And Xia Yun is the first dean of the academy, only reaching the 65th step. The guy felt about 200 pounds of pressure now, and that's very little to stop him. There's a 40-step climb ahead, but when he got to the 50th step, the guy started to sweat. When he reached the 60th step, he felt that his blood pressure had risen sharply. The dean's joy was not lagging behind either, saying that Linu Academy should focus on Ling Feng's development. Believing in himself, the guy was given more to do by Matarazzi, because it was already becoming difficult for him to resist the pressure. But he knew his body and that 2,500 pounds was his body limit. And he was ready to climb to the top. As the guy kept climbing higher and higher, he didn't notice how he broke the record of the first dean of the academy. His sister shouted at the kid that he was great, and he made history at Linu Academy and set a new record. The men wondered why this boy pervert was so lucky. If you compare Li Mu and Ayun to Ling Fengum, they are not even worthy of his finger. After reaching the 68th step, the guy felt the pressure of over 2,000 jin, but even if it was 3 or 4,000, he wouldn't stop. After all, today he said ready to surpass his limit with this magnificent mountain. To Dean, this was astonishing. After all, Mount Linu is really meant for young people to train their tenacity and martial arts. But Ling Feng turned out to be an even greater genius than he thought, said Dean. The pressure had reached 4,000 jin. Doesn't he feel any pain? Bing Ming wondered. But suddenly, he stopped and didn't move. Ling Feng managed to reach the 99th step. The pressure on the 99th step reaches 5,000 jin. But that doesn't stop him, and he is ready to get to the top. But taking all the strength out of himself, he did it, and made it to the top. The observers could not believe their eyes, for he had done it. Guy's sister was over the moon, and couldn't believe that Ling Feng had climbed to the top. Ms. Bingning said that this year they were unlucky with inner disciples, but they got the first spiritual disciple ever. With a wave of his hands, Ling Feng shouted that he had done it. But suddenly, he saw a book standing on a rock. When he took it, he received a book of techniques from the ancient Lin Wushan family. However, this is only a basic skill of the first level. In the Tao, techniques range from strong to weak. But there is the Xian Huang heavenly level of the fourth order. And on that fourth level there are even finer spiritual, honorable and divine techniques. In his previous life, the guy was a saint, he saw incomparable skills. And this book is useless to him, but it's very good for the people here. Coming downstairs, Ling Feng was jumped on by his sister. Ling Feng told his sister not to worry because he was fine. Seeing him, the dean came over and said that Ling Feng was very good and qualified to be a spiritual disciple. The teacher asked Ling Feng if he was ready to become a spiritual disciple. He said he was ready, but he said he wanted to study alchemy. Hearing this, the dean was surprised and said that his talent was the best in the academy. And if he focused on self-improvement, his achievements would be limitless. Alchemy is different from cultivation, because the guy has good talent, but if he takes up alchemy, it's unlikely that anything good will happen. Ling Feng said that Linu Academy's techniques had no value to him, and all he needed was resources. And alchemy is the fastest way to obtain resources. But suddenly, Miss Bingming intervened in the conversation and said that she supported Ling Feng. On the Sinui continent, alchemists are more promising and respected. Ling Feng insisted that he become an alchemist. And this woman, as he saw, doesn't care what others think, he seems like a good person. The dean told the guy not to be so reckless, because this decision could determine his fate. And unfortunately, it's really sad that such talent is wasted. Ms. Bingning met a student, Ling Feng. She said she was the only alchemist professor. She asked him why he wanted to study alchemy so badly. Hearing that she was the only alchemy professor, the guy got excited. Miss Bingning's boyfriend seemed like a demon. And it looks like his life is going to get a lot more complicated from tomorrow. But the dean approached him and told him if he suddenly got bored with alchemy, he could come to him anytime. As Ling Feng left, Ling Feng remembered about the book and said that he found it on the top of the mountain. He asked the dean for help in understanding the book. Beacon said it's very simple. This spiritual skill can be understood even by an ignorant person. After hearing about the book, the men immediately approached Ling Feng, offering to sell him his book for 100 gold coins. But the guy wasn't interested. But a man asked him just to look at the book. But the guy said he could only look at it for 100 gold coins. But this skill is very rare for Dean. He didn't expect this guy to use a rare skill like this, but suddenly a second man came and handed him 1,000 gold coins. In return, Ayun would look at him, but Ayun said that he only had time to read 2 sentences and couldn't even memorize them. After all, there are dozens of pages in this book. Even if they pay 100,000 gold coins, they will still not understand and learn anything. But the man ordered his children to hurry home and bring him all the gold coins. Ling Feng watched this and told them not to rush. But it was time for Ling Feng to leave. He said it was too late, and he had to go home. The man was unhappy that he was not giving them a chance to read. After all, the man had spent a lot of coins, but in the end they were left with nothing. That night, when he got home, he took out all the riches he'd earned all day. The sister saw all this and said she had never seen so much money in her life. The guy told her that as long as he was with her, he would let her live in poverty. The boy wonders if he can now study alchemy at the academy. But he's afraid that the professor will make him go through hellfire. So he decides he needs to buy some gear so he won't suffer any pain. When they arrived at the academy the next day, everyone was surprised by their appearance. Everyone wondered where they got the cold lion and golden armor from. The guy told Goldie he was going to the alchemy department, and told him to protect his sister. Upon entering the alchemy department, Miss Bingning was already waiting for him, holding a whip made especially for Ling Feng. Bin Ming asked the guy what he was wearing. He said he was wearing a new armor that would help him during training. Miss Bingning told him to take off his armor. She asked if he wore it to protect himself from her. But if that's the case, he can keep it up. Ms. Bingning told him the first thing he should know is how to operate the cauldron. So today he will carry the boiler and learn about its structure. Ling Feng was ready to test people and his eyes were burning with interest. Ms. Bingning said that he looked optimistic, but the boiler is there. As he stood in front of the alchemical furnace, he realized that it was bigger than his house. Picking it up, he said that it weighed about 5,000 pounds and he could use it for his training. But Bing Ming told the guy to stop because he could destroy the place. She gave him instructions on how to use the alchemy furnace. After taking the instructions, the guy was happy and said he wanted to read it right away. But when he opened it, he saw the master's bad handwriting. The guy realized that she writes very poorly, but her explanations are very good. Though he had read a few alchemy books in his past life, but he had no experience in it. People studying alchemy on the continent fall into several categories, and there are still different types of spirits. After reading, the master asked him what is the difference between cleansing and straightening pills basic on fire control. The guy said that these 2 types of pills give off heat, but fire must be combined with air and medicine. When he praised himself, he thought the master would try to humiliate him. But the boy was born with a very good memory, and he can remember all the 3,000 books he read on the holy mountain. As he immersed himself, he realized that learning alchemy required pure qi, but he still couldn't use it, and climbing the mountain helped him a lot. After all, tonight he would be able to reach level 5. After reaching level 5, he decided that he needed to try out his new power. He realized that even though he was at level 5, he was no weaker than cultivators at level 6. After all, he had become stronger than in his previous life. The next fine day, a girl said that the liquid fire and animal blood needed to create a nourishing spiritual pill, in addition to the day cloud, immerse in the alchemical furnace, and everything was ready. Ms. Bingming asked Ling Feng when he would start. As he started the process, Ming was surprised at the fact that he was at level 5. It turned out that Ling Feng was a very interesting person who had gotten a talent for alchemy and martial arts at the same time. But try after try, he couldn't do it. It was very difficult for him to control qi. Taking all the strength in his fist, he said that this was his 8th attempt, and this time he should succeed. Seeing him succeed, Miss Bingming was surprised that he had created a pill. And she realized that she had gotten herself a great treasure. Ling Feng said that the pill-making process consists of 4 steps: purification, fusion, first form and formation. He withdraws the core base and the fusion is successful. Ms. Bingming was surprised that he managed to create a pill in 3 hours. And he is a genius child. She told Ling Feng that he had done a good job, but that he could do better, for she thought that praise might weaken him. Taking his hands to his side, Ling Feng said that unfortunately it took him 3 hours to finish. And he wondered, how much time did it take her? When she heard such a question, she became agitated and coughed. After all, it takes her 3 days to do this process. Ms. Bingming decided to give Ling Feng 3 months to create 7 basic pills. The boy told her that half a month was enough for him. Half a month later, he came to Ms. Bingming with the pills ready. Wiping her eyes, she was surprised. Ling Feng was told by her teacher that rubbing her eyes was useless, for it didn't seem like an illusion to her. She asked him with surprised eyes how he managed to create 7 kinds of pills in such a small amount of time. The guy said not only did he make them, but he also made 5 others, but they're not finished yet. Hearing this, she was very happy for him, and said that he would become a legend of this continent. Ms. Bingming reflected that it took her 6 months to become an alchemist. What's surprising is that Ling Feng is better than her. After all, he is the genius of Linu Academy. But suddenly, while discussing all this, they heard a strange sound. Bingming said it sounded like it came from outside. And Ling Feng recognized the voice and said it was Goldie. While outside, a girl was hurting his sister, and wanted his sister to give her the little lion. After all, she wants to trade it for 2 spiritual pills. The sister said Goldie is part of her family, and under no circumstances would she sell him. The girl sighed, and said she was giving her one last chance, or she wouldn't leave in one piece today. With a wave of his rope, Goldie jumped at her. But she stiffened and told him that no entry-level monster dared growl at her. With angry eyes, the girl told the little lion cub if he didn't follow her, she would kill him. The girl thought it was an insult to have such an ugly girl in the academy. And today she will tell her grandfather to expel her from the academy. Lena, the sister, asked Mahjong to stop this torment. After all, she and her brother were having a lot of trouble getting in. But the anger in Mojang's eyes grew bigger and bigger. And no girl like her would dare to speak her name. But Ling Feng manages to grab that rope. But she asked him how dare he stand in front of her. Ling Feng asked her name Mojang. But Mahjong told him to stop saying her name, with his filthy mouth. But the situation was so serious that Ling Feng told Mahjong that it would end today, striking Ling Feng. He said that he was a level 5 warrior with a bronze body, and he would easily defeat a level 2 warrior like her. She didn't expect him to be able to fend her off with a whip. He came up to her and said that she had hurt her sister, so he would kill her. But before he struck, Mahjong said that she was the granddaughter of the greatest teacher Mahjong, and he can't kill her. As he struck near her head, he realized he had to protect his sister. And he couldn't kill her. My sister said he scared her to death. And she thought he was going to kill her, but luckily he didn't. Ling Feng said he was fine, but she was very badly hurt, and gave her a recovery pill. But suddenly some uncle came out of the crowd and asked Ling Feng, how dare he hit Mahjong? Uncle said he was expelled from the academy anyway, and that he shouldn't dare come tomorrow. Ling Feng asked him what he would do if he came tomorrow. Pointing his finger, the uncle said he dared to hit her granddaughter, and the teacher doesn't want him here. Guy told him not to make him angry. Even if the greatest teacher comes, he will not stop in front of him. When the teacher saw this, he was surprised at his evil power. But suddenly Miss Bingming intervened and asked Bai Bao what he wanted to do with his disciple. After all, he didn't understand the situation, and he didn't judge fairly. And without reason, he dared to accuse her student, so Ms. Bing-ming decided to tell what had happened. She said that Mojian was arrogant and oppressive, for she dared to hit her Yukin's sister and his lion, and her disciple was just defending himself. And in a word, Mojian deserved to be beaten by Lingfeng's hands. Bai Bao said to Miss Bingming, even if she feels that way, how could he explain it to Elder Mo Shan? Bingming said if Mo Shan wants to fight, then let him come to her. And from tomorrow, Bai Bao must not come to the academy. But suddenly one of the teachers came in and started hitting on Bin Min, saying why is she defending this Mauser? The teacher told the dean that Ling Feng had severely injured Mojian, and suggested to the dean that justice be done. But Bing Ning was not silent either, and told Dean Mo that her disciple had surpassed Mojian, who had recently become an inner disciple. And she also said in confidence that Ling Feng had become a DPNG rank novice alchemist. Dean's eyes widened at what he heard. He couldn't believe it. He ended the argument with the words, "That's all for today," and told the elder not to get involved in the children's fights. For Mozana had had a hard time these days, and told the master to teach her well. Dean Mo was happy to hear this, because in just half a month, Ling Feng had become a Dan rank alchemist. And right now, Ling Feng was more important than Mojian. Ms. Bingming told Ling Feng that he always gets into trouble like that, and at the very least he should thank her for her help. Bingming prompted Jingqing to better not go to places like the outer ward, and told her to come to the alchemy gate later. She would find her a teacher. But suddenly, the incomprehensible occurred to Ling Feng and he undressed, thanking Bingming for helping her sister, and never put on the armor again. Ms. Bingming said although today's problem is solved, she cannot guarantee it in the future. After all, she will not be able to intervene in the problems of the younger generation. Coming to the battle arena, everyone was discussing how Ling Feng had defeated a rank 2 warrior. Balandon said, it was because of his armor. If he was without it, he would be defeated quickly. But suddenly someone shouted that Ling Feng is going to fight again. And he makes to fight Brother Ashing. Brother Ashing is one of the top 5 disciples, and he has a lot of fighting experience. Oshen told Ling Feng how he dared to hit Mrs. Mojian, but also insulted the elder. So he offered to teach him a lesson. Ling Feng said that he had met many people like him, and they had all been defeated by him. He wanted to try out his new powers. Oshen told Ling Feng that he was too vain, and he should destroy him today. But this did not frighten Ling Feng, and called Oshen a dog, and told him not to just stand there, but to go and fight him. Pulling out his sword, he jumped up and told Ling Feng that he should die for insulting the teacher. Oshen wondered how Ling Feng could move so fast, but then realized that he had mastered the speed skill. But still, he was not worthy of fighting him. Oshen told him that the worst solution, Ling Feng, was to take off his armor. After all, it was only with its durability that he was able to strike Madame Mojian, and use the yellow level attack skill, Heaven Blast. But this didn't surprise Ling Feng in the slightest, and he responded with a mutual strike with the Ice Moon Palm. It turned out that Ling Feng's strength was at a high level, and Oshen was surprised that Ling Feng blocked his sword attack. A satisfied and tailed Ling Feng said that against that arrogant Oshen, he hadn't even revealed all his cards, and he had lost so easily, telling the guys who were cheering for Oshen that it was their turn to fight him. But before Ling Feng could finish his words, they were gone. 3 days later, at the alchemy gate of Linu Academy, Miss Bingming heard that there was noise outside again. Miss Bingming told Ling Feng that from today, he would start making mid-level pills. An overjoyed Ling Feng said that it would only take him 3 days for him to make. 3 days had passed since the assignment, but the cure had not been made. But Ling Feng had set off several explosions in the alchemy furnace. A sad Ling Feng told teacher Bingming that he wanted to rest. After all, there are bound to be a few days like this every month. But this didn't please teacher Bingming, because he hadn't finished making the pills yet, and asked for a rest, she said, and asked him for another explanation. But Ling Feng actually said that he was about to reach the 5th level of martial arts, and needed to be alone for a few days. But suddenly the sisters saw that Ling Feng had recovered. Ling Feng said the day he climbed Mount Linu, and the mountain accelerated his healing. And then he said that he started practicing, for he was now at the 4th level of martial arts. Closing her eyes, teacher Bingming thought his words were complete nonsense. However, chi energy was very important for making pills, so she decided to give him a few days of rest. Ling Feng's sister hugged him and said that she had actually, with the help of his pill, she too had reached the 4th level of martial arts. And she didn't think that he would be able to catch up with her so quickly. Ling Feng said that he could become better. After all, he would make a top-level pill to cure her icy soul. And the first pill he made he decided to eat himself. While resting, Ling Feng thought that the road of emptiness was moving him to the next level very quickly. It was still only 3 days since he arrived in the wilderness, and he had already managed to reach the 9th level of martial arts. A disciple of Dao Cheng's 9th level of martial arts, he had already reached it. However, this time, he wants to go beyond it and reach the frontier of martial arts, though the elixir won't help him, because success depends on ability. He failed to achieve it in a previous life, but there are only a few people in the history of the Holy Mountain. Ling Feng needs to break through all 9 levels and then reunite, but luckily his body can withstand the true agony of destruction. Eventually reaching the borders, his power will be much higher than that of an ordinary warrior. Repeating the same words that he needed to break through the 9 levels and then unite again, he did so and obtained a very powerful strength. Having reached the boundaries of martial arts, Ling Feng was very happy, but suddenly, he heard some strange growls. He saw one-eyed wolves, but that didn't scare him and he decided to practice with level 3 wolves. Using Moonstrike attack, Ling Feng dealt heavy damage to them, but they were also smart, and decided to jump on him all at once. But this was also in Ling Feng's favor, because he had a technique called Heavenly Power, someone's dragon power, in reserve. After defeating the wolves, Ling Feng felt that he had reached the limit of martial arts. Only his body strength wasn't enough, it seemed he needed to keep practicing, he said. Taking the wolf on his back, he felt they were heavy and just decided to practice with them. But he remembered that he had already been in this wilderness for 9 days, and if he stayed any longer, his sister would kill him. All these beasts weigh about 3 tons, Ling Feng said, and this would allow him and his sister to eat for a long time. Before, in the cold mountains of Wishan, it could only barely hold a load of 2.5 tons. But now, it could not only carry 3 tons, but also run at the speed of the wind. But suddenly he didn't notice one of the wolves pouncing on him. And it was the king of the one-eyed wolves, who had come to bring back his brothers. But after striking him, the wolf simply passed out. Ling Feng said that his punching force was equal to 1.5 tons. And even if he is a level 4 king, his death has long since been attributed. When she got home, sister flew into the room, and was very glad that Ling Feng had returned. And these few days that he had been away from home had made her very worried, she said. Ling Feng told his sister that there was no need to worry. He had just gone to a quiet place for a few days and no more. Seeing the one-eyed wolves, sister told Ling Feng that he shouldn't take such a risk. It was too dangerous. Ling Feng said that he wasn't going to mess around with his own life. After all, his body is strong enough to deal with any beasts that meet in his path. The sister told Ling Feng that because he came back late, Master Bing Ming was very angry, and she often hears her sharpening her knife. Entering the academy, Ling Feng asked why it was so noisy. Is there some kind of event coming up? His sister told him while he was away, he missed a lot. And today, there will be an open competition between Linu Academy and Mo Yunsong Academy. Ling Feng said that he had heard of Mo Yunsong. It was a school located in Shenwu. However, what was the reason for the open competition, he thought? Sister said that every 3 years Mo Yunsong and Linu Academy have a competition between the students. It's called Melindaby. And as long as there is such a competition, the students of both academies can compete. The guy realized that this was a low-level competition. The level of the participants and the level of our students had nothing to do. He said he would watch outside, just to avoid meeting Bing Ming's teacher. The people watching the competition said that Linu Academy would give the winner a yellow-grade weapon, and the reward from Mo Yunsong Academy was training 1 set of brown-grade techniques. Hearing this talk, my sister said that she had never seen or heard of yellow-class weapons. Hearing his sister's words, Ling Feng hesitated. After all, it was all useless to him. But it seems that his sister's interest had appeared in the yellow-grade weapons. Looking at the opponents, the guys from Linu Academy said that they had only won once in the last 4 competitions. But this year's side has 3 talents: Mo Lan, Aoshin, and Qian Yong. And they can't lose to Mo Yangzhen. Mo Zhan said that they should win this year. and they will definitely have a set of their brown class techniques. Shin didn't distinguish himself either, and said that Mo Yunzong against their topmost experts, they would undoubtedly lose. But suddenly, an elder came and said that Mo Yunzong's disciples would be here soon. He told the students to get ready. After all, we need to showcase the power of the academy to Lin. Shin told the elder not to worry, for they had prepared well, and there was no way they would lose to Mo Yunzong Academy. Upon meeting Mo Yunzong Academy, Elder Lee said that he was personally leading the team, and he was waiting to personally greet them. Academy Mo Yunzong thanked them for waiting for them and apologized for keeping Elder Mo waiting. When Mo Yunzong saw Mo Yunzong's students, she said that they looked bad. They looked like weaklings. Disciple Mo Yunzong said that there was no need for their fourth disciple to take up the task, as Wang Shan was capable of defeating them all without a problem. The disciples of Mo Yunzong Academy said let them do what they want, because if they weren't there, they wouldn't have anyone to mock. The elder walked over and said that it was time for the competition to begin. And a disciple of Mo Yunzong Academy, Wang Shan, walked onto the battlefield and motioned for someone to come up to fight. The fearless and courageous Academy disciple Ao Shan stepped onto the battlefield, and said that he had come to defeat him. A Shan Academy disciple attacked him with a sword. But Wang Shan's strength far exceeded his, and with just a sweep of his arm, he defeated the level 7 disciple. Wang Shan laughed and asked, all the disciples of Linu Academy are so weak? If that's the case, then he will really deal with all of them. The guys of Linu Academy were outraged by Wang Shan's antics, and welcomed Li Liang from the academy, and he arrived to duel with him. But that didn't scare Wang Shan either, because he said it doesn't matter to him who he fights when the final is the same. Li Liang attacked him with his level 8 sword, with a slashing attack. But Wang Shan used a hidden strike and defeated him. The guys were very disappointed, because it was the 8th time they failed. After watching the fight, Ling Feng said that Wang Shan didn't have opponents of the disciple level of such strength. The head of the academy, Mo Yunzong, told Mo Shan's brother that her student already had the level of a martial arts expert, thus it could be helped that Wang Shan was stronger than all of his students. Mo Shan laughed and said that most of his Linu Academy disciples had surpassed the level of experts, so they would not be able to defeat them. The head of the academy, Mo Yunzong, said that Mo Shan speaks as if his experts are very strong, and he can't wait to see them. Wang Shan said that defeating her would be the 9th consecutive victory. When he entered the fight, he realized that she was a martial arts expert. He's going to have a tough time. Mo Lan told him that he was unfortunately not high enough to fight her yet. After launching her attack, Mo Lan stunned Wang Shan and said in the future when he saw her, it was best to avoid her. But the second student of the academy, Mo Yangzhen, came out to fight. He heard Mo Lan's words and said that he would only remember the honor of his defeated opponent. Mo Lan called him naive, and said she would destroy him. But all the girl's blows were repelled. She realized that her punch was suppressed, and his style was very similar to Ling Feng's, so fast and ruthless. Mo Yunqiong's disciple told her that she had used 2 techniques and defeated Wang Shan, but he would use 2 techniques and defeat her. Entering the battle, Mahjong realized that her affairs were not good, and she was defeated by Mo Yunzong's disciple. When she came to her senses, the first thing Mahjong asked was how the competition was going. But this guy was beating everyone who stood in front of him. Mahjong realized that Lin Du turned out to be a 4th-level martial arts expert, and he had no trouble defeating their 2nd-level experts. The head of the academy, Mo Yunzong, told Elder Mo Shan that if Linu Academy didn't have people capable of taking the fight, then this year's competition could be ended. But suddenly, someone shouted from the crowd to wait. It was Ling Feng who said that he hadn't come out yet. He went up to the guys and told them they were all worthless, because they had allowed some lowlife to beat them up. Elder Mo Shan also scolded Elder Mo Shan for unrequitedly approaching the competition without summoning Ling Feng to fight. But this did not please Elder Mo Shan and called him a rascal. And how dare he talk to him in such a tone, he asked. For that matter, said Elder Mo Shan, they are asking one of the top disciples to come out to fight Ling Feng. Since he's such a boy, and is thinking of fighting against Mo Yunzong's disciples, he'll help him. But after he waits for him to defeat him, he will have a serious conversation with Mo Shan said. Ling Feng thanked Elder Mo Shan for his support, and said that a stick like this would be enough for him to deal with a few weaklings from Mo Yunzong. 1 man 1 stick will kill them all. The opponent told Ling Feng that he could still leave, but if he dared to enter the competition, he would immediately break his leg. But Ling Feng was not intimidated by this and arrived already for the fight. His opponent said that if he dared to come, there was no need to accuse him of being ruthless. Ling Feng said to beat him, opponent's status is not enough. After all, among them, there is the only one who can fight him. The best student of Mo Yunsang Academy. Mahjong said that she thought that Ling Feng would challenge Lin Du, but he ended up backing off and in the end, he chose an unknown disciple. The opponent asked Ling Feng, did he want to challenge him? But he first said that Ling Feng should fight the first 4 disciples, and then he would think about it. Elder Mo Shan couldn't understand how Ling Feng could see that this young man was the best. However, seeing was one thing, but being able to win was another. The unknown opponent said that Ling Feng is brave, and he will agree to fight if Ling Feng can defeat them. The opponent said that he was a level 4 expert, and if he killed him, let Ling Feng not take offense. But Ling Feng was not intimidated by this, and said that he would beat him first, and he would consider it a warm-up. After striking Ling Feng, the opponent couldn't understand where Ling Feng had disappeared to. But at that time, Ling Feng was already behind him and said that he was too slow. His opponent decided to use his strongest yellow-level Mahamudra technique. But in appearance, this did not surprise Ling Feng. Ling Feng's sister saw that Lin Du was using the destruction technique. Lin Du is already quite powerful. It's impossible to imagine this young man being so strong, and Ling Feng was hit by the Budu. Lin Du couldn't believe his eyes that his strongest punch didn't even hit Ling Feng, and he had gone somewhere else again. But Ling Feng had had enough of all this and decided to end this fight. With a backhand strike, Ling Du was defeated. The guys couldn't believe how Lin Du was beaten by him with a stick. Not only was Ling Feng incredibly fast, but he also had such strength. Ling Feng stood in front of the disciples and said that Mo Yunsong had 3 more inept students, and told them to all get up. But the 4th level expert Dong Feng came out to fight. He said that if Ling Feng was so confident, he wouldn't treat him like that. Ling Feng said if the 3 of them went out, there might have been a chance, but counting on you alone was a big mistake. After all, they can't beat him. But Dong Feng realized that the boy was capable of destroying his techniques. Mo Yunsong's disciples were surprised that Ling Feng had calmly defeated the top 2, and Mo Yunsong's disciples decided to go out with the 2 of them, and told Ling Feng not to make a big fool of himself. After all, the Sun brothers will raise him up. Ling Feng said that the 2 of them were also only level 4 experts, and asked them if they had come to face death together. After attacking Ling Feng, the brothers offered him a glimpse of their yellow-level technique, Golden Hammer Strike. But these useless attacks did nothing for Ling Feng, and he said that they disappointed him. But the following blows were also in vain. After all, Ling Feng was so strong and fast that he snuck up from behind and said that in order to defeat him, he had to keep improving. And Mo Yunsong's disciples had already realized that Ling Feng was truly unstoppable, taking 1 stick and beating 4 of their fighters. Mojang was surprised by his real strength. Whereas he had been easily attacked by her before, now he feared that she would be the end of him. Standing on the podium, Ling Feng asked them if there were any more who had not surrendered. He ordered those who hadn't surrendered to get up immediately, as there was no need to waste his time. Everyone refused to fight him. But a stranger from Mo Yangzhen's team said he would fight him. This stranger's name was Dong Shui. The guy's exit was very uplifting. Mo Yunsong Academy shouted for him to avenge them. Standing against each other, Ling Feng told him to show him how strong the Academy's top disciple Mo Yunsong was. Dong Shui told Ling Feng to show his full power in battle, otherwise he had no chance against him. Ling Feng said when the need arises, he will definitely show his full power. Well then, Dong Shui said that he wouldn't waste time and ceremonize with him for too long and used the yellow-level attack, the Mahamudra Strike. Ling Feng realized that this Dong Shui was not so simple. The same 4th-level expert, but Mahamudra's strike is much more serious than Lin Du's. Dong Shui said that it was just a warm-up. He decided to demonstrate 2 attacks in a row at once. Ling Feng said that it was unexpected that he was able to strike 2 punches at once at the same time. Dong Shui said that he couldn't imagine that Linu Academy had such disciples who could grapple with him for so long. And Dong Shui decided to use a black-level technique, Chaotic Rock Strike. It was a surprise to you that he used techniques of this level. Ling Feng reminded him that he was in someone else's academy. and he wouldn't want him to ruin everything, and said that Dong Shui was making him surprised again, and decided to familiarize him with the power of the heavenly level technique. From the strong wind, the academy students couldn't open their eyes. After all, these two were very intimidating. Dong Shui couldn't imagine that his 4th level reception would not only not break him, but would leave Dong Shui at a disadvantage. But a satisfied Ling Feng asked if he had any other tricks. Dong Shui stood up and said that she was very strong and was a level 5 expert. The guys were wondering if she was a level 5 expert using level 4 techniques. Would Ling Feng be able to resist against her? Ling Feng said that she had finally decided to show all her skills. After all, a level 5 expert and level 4 techniques, this matched the abilities of a level 6 expert. It would be a good training for him. Dong Shui told Ling Feng that he was very lucky, so she would show him the most powerful attack she could do. Ling Feng said that he was expecting this and shouted to hurry up and demonstrate her attack to him, and demonstrated a retaliatory sword strike with a force of 1.5 tons. Using a heaven-level technique and the dragon fire sword, Ling Feng chopped this stone into pieces, and after passing through the firestone, Ling Feng said he had reached her, and delivered a devastating blow. Standing in front of her, he said that Dong Shui was very resilient and strong. But unfortunately she lost. Mo Yunsong Academy were very disappointed with the competition, because who would have thought that even Dong Shui would lose? Evil Mahjong said that Ling Feng, sooner or later, would become their most dangerous enemy in the academy. Mo Shan stood up and said that the competition was over and Mo Yunsong's disciples were much stronger than before. But the head of the academy, Mo Yunzin, was also surprised, and said that Linu Academy still had real talents with great potentials. The head of Mo Yunsong Academy walked over to Ling Feng and said that this book was his reward, a black-level technician of Mo Yunsong Academy. Let him treat it with care. An elder Mo Shan handed him the yellow-level weapon of Linu Academy. Ling Feng was overjoyed and thanked both elders. Ling Feng told his sister that his body is much more powerful and he is not used to using weapons, and this precious sword he gives to her. Happy sister took this precious sword in her arms and said that she would definitely cherish it. Opening Ling Feng's book, saw the chaotic rock striking technique used by Dong Shui, and it was a technique he decided was very cool, so they decided to make an auction. Shouting that precious black-level black technique of Mo Yunsong Academy, the starting price is 10 entry-level pills. Academy elder Mo Yunsang saw this and said that this boy was so stupid, having acquired a black-level technique and not seeing it as something valuable. But how could he think of taking it and selling it, he thought, so the elder decided to buy it. He took the opportunity to return their book. It was somehow better than letting the people in Linu Academy practice it. But Elder Mo Shan also offered 15 pills. He decided to take the opportunity to buy it for their family, because this chaotic rock strike is an excellent technique. But with each argument, the elders kept increasing the stakes and increasing the stakes. Ling Feng, who was watching, was glad, for the more they argued, the more money he would earn. But suddenly, the beautiful Miss Bin Min came and said that she was giving 100 entry-level pills. Elder Mo Shan said that Bing Ming is very cruel, the first sentence, and immediately such a big price. His pills are many, but not more than hers. Academy Elder Mo Yunsong decided to give 20 mid-level pills, and told Ling Feng to know the measure, because 20 mid-level pills were enough to buy any black-level technique on the market. But once again, Ms. Bing Ming stepped in and offered 40 pieces. But Academy Elder Mo Yunsong couldn't leave them the book and offered 50 mid-level pills. Taking the pills, Ling Feng thanked the elder, and said that the next time he had such an opportunity to get rich, be sure to call him. Dong Shui left, and told Ling Feng that today's competition was over. When they waited for the next competition between their schools, she would definitely destroy him. A joyful Ling Feng said that he was expecting her challenge, and in his mind, he realized that this Dong Shui was not easy. Although he had defeated her, but in the end, he was experiencing internal discomfort. But suddenly, Teacher Bing Ming snuck up and put her hand to Ling Feng's throat, and said that it had been a long time since they had seen each other. The smiling Ling Feng was startled when he saw the tip of his sword and said, "Long time no see, Your Excellency." Bing Ming said to Ling Feng, "Apparently he outside has gained useful experience, but she doesn't know if his body can withstand a few cuts. this black level Linka? But a frightened Ling Feng said, "You what, your holiness? He'd better go make pills." But smart Bin Min asked him what other pills he had. "He has a lot of pills at the moment." Noble Ling Feng said that these pills are for the teacher. With reverence he held them out to Bing Ming, and asked him to accept them. Taking the pills, Bing Ming said that it was a little small, and sent him to make the pills, and gave him 10 days. If he couldn't produce a solid pill, then let him wait for it. An outraged Ling Feng said 9 days wouldn't be enough, and asked her if she wanted to kill him. Bin Min agreed with him. She said he had 2 choices, to go prepare the pills or to die now. Frightened Ling Feng said something will prepare pills. And in his mind, he realized that this lady was very cruel. After all, he had already made pills in solid form. But luckily he didn't die. But the dean came up to them and said that he was definitely not wrong, because he had heard that Ling Feng had saved the face of their academy. Placing his hand on Ling Feng's shoulder said that he was now able to defeat the best at the expert stage, an absolutely outstanding achievement. And the dean thinks that he should leave the alchemy department and move to him, become his disciple. But the indignant Ms. Bing Ming didn't like it and asked the abbot how he could come and boss her around. Hearing these words from Ming Bing, the dean thought that she was evil, because she was the only one who could keep her students in fear. After all, Ling Feng is a true talent. The best way to develop his talent is through martial arts. Ling Feng didn't think for a long time and apologized to Dean, and said that he liked making pills better. The joyful Miss Bing Ming realized that her charisma was too strong in front of them, and they didn't stand a chance. 10 days later, Ling Feng kept preparing pills. But all the agony and attempts were pointless. An indignant Ms. Bing Ming said that these 10 days, Ling Feng was alone and didn't let her check on him. And as a result, she sees this? Ling Feng said, "Well, almost, and he wants to ask her to look at these 6 mid-level pills, and successful preparation." Taking the pill in her hands, Miss Bing Ming said that Ling Feng was gifted in pill making. After all, he had advanced to a mid-level master of pill making. An overjoyed Ling Feng decided to ask Bing Ming for the weekend. But an indignant Bing Ming asked him why he needed a weekend again. Ling Feng said that he had discovered his own limitation, and he needed to calm down and meditate for a while. Otherwise, something like a furnace exploding might happen. Bing Ming said that a master in pill making is different from a martial arts expert. It's more about talent and intelligence than hard work. It is indeed necessary to reflect on it properly. The teacher agreed to give him a rest and gave him 10 days off. And if he didn't return after 10 days, she would not be ceremonious with him. A surprised Ling Feng said that he would definitely come back. Sister hugged Ling Feng and told him to come back early, and not to make her worry about him. But when he left, he fell into the deep. He said that he was Ling Feng, a talent in martial arts, in his rebirth having reached the limit of the disciple level, so unexpectedly would die here today. Stalos wild beasts took him and chased him into a tree. This became the 5th level of a martial arts expert. He realized that he hadn't fully recovered from the battle with Dong Shui yet, and right now, he shouldn't be directing them at himself. He was very cautious. The skin of these boars is tough and the meat is rough, but against all odds he decided to attack them. I can't beat them, I can't run either. It looks like he only has one choice left. He's raising his level of martial arts proficiency right now. After taking the pills, he reached the boundary, but he still wanted to fly upwards. He began to feel that he was about to reach the top. At the apprentice level, he wouldn't have been able to overpower the boars, but now a single strike is enough, and that is the power of a martial arts expert. Ling Feng had broken through to the level of an expert, and none of these boars had pressured him. He was confident that he could progress so quickly. After cutting up the boar and putting it on the stove, Ling Feng ate it, and decided to thank it for being so tasty. But suddenly someone came out of the bushes and shouted for help. And they asked Ling Feng for help. Ling Feng asked who were they, and what are they doing here? They introduced themselves as Mo Humor's disciples, and they said that they were not criminals, but that they had come across a waterfall while practicing. And it's a very turbulent waterfall, you could die. Ling Feng said that the force of the current in the waterfalls is very huge, but not to the point where they are so frightened. The guys said the problem was in the pool into which the waterfall flows, and he found a spot there that had a golden sheen to it. Initially, they thought maybe it was some kind of healing agent, or some kind of powerful weapon. Who knows, maybe this light can absorb people's consciousness. He just took a glance and a stabbing pain swept over his eyes. And they ran away as fast as they could, but about 10 of their brothers and mentors might die there. Ling Feng thought about the guy's words about the golden luster that could swallow a person's soul. Spending another day in the wilderness, Ling Feng found a waterfall powerful enough, and a great place to harden his body. Ling Feng considered because last night, those 2 disciples of Mo Yun-sung were talking about the golden luster that should be here. But suddenly he saw a bright golden color in the water. And he jumped into the water after that light, for he thought that perhaps it was really a thing. And indeed he felt the closer he got, the more painful his eyes became. When he reached the light he saw the dead flower. In addition to martial arts and bodily techniques, there is another kind of technicians on the land of Lentu. They can kill people with the help of telekinesis. They are masters of spiritual techniques. However, those who wish to become a master of spiritual practice must first master telekinesis, and the golden flower is a kind of extinguisher of the souls of the dead. As he got closer, Ling Feng's body began to fail. He was trapped by this flower and couldn't move. Clutching at his throat, it was no longer easy for him to stay conscious. And he doesn't want to die that way. But suddenly a miracle happened, and something was pressed into his forehead. It seemed to be that mysterious golden seal that suppressed the effects of the flower, and also took a hold of his soul. Ling Feng walked outside and watched the flower, which soon turned into a small golden sword. Ling Feng himself began to feel some strange actions. After a while, he realized that he had acquired the skill of telekinesis and became a practitioner of spiritual power. Ling Feng said that the very powerful power of telekinesis was, roughly speaking, a threat to all life on Earth. The power of telekinesis is not a quick thing, and there's no need to rush. The most important thing right now is the waterfall hardening. We need to increase its ability to withstand 3 tons of force. 10 days later, Miss Bingming saw that Ling Feng had not returned. Out of anger that he was taking advantage of her, she stuck her sword into the table. For 10 days, Ling Feng had been in the middle of nowhere practicing on a waterfall. After he learned how to withstand a load of 4 tons, he began to lose consciousness. But after a while, the boys from Linu Academy made their way into the wilderness. The conduit was the dean himself. The dean said according to Ling Feng's capabilities, an expert-level werewolf wouldn't threaten him, so he must have gotten to this mountain range. Ms. Bingming said he's been missing for a month, and she thinks he must have been eaten by dogs by now. Sister said that in words. Teacher Bin Ming is very angry. Lonely, she can see that deep down she is worried about Ling Feng, and this time specifically asked the head of the search team to join the search. But suddenly they heard loud noises, and Dean stopped them and said there was a huge werewolf in front of them. The sister shouted that it was Ling Feng. But when Ling Feng saw them, he was very happy and asked how they had come to be here. The evil Min Bin tells him that he's fine now, but she assumes he'll be in trouble soon. After all, she had given him 10 days of rest, but he had extended the rest on his own, to a whole month. Does he want to die, she asked? Hiding behind his sister, Ling Feng said that it was his fault. Next time, there was no way he would break his promise. Sister asked Ling Feng how his skin became so white. After all, it was darker before. Ling Feng said this was Ling Feng's 12th day in the wilderness. He remembers losing consciousness then. And his body got even better, and it seems that while he was in a coma, the load his body could bear increased to 4 tons. And apparently Ling Feng said hardening himself at the waterfall really does work. And he would like to continue. And in the past few days, the current has become stronger. The load has reached a force of 5 tons, said Ling Feng. 5 tons is the threshold. And if he were even more assertive, he would definitely achieve a breakthrough to the next level. And in reality, nothing had changed, and he was just bathing. And Ling Feng's body load threshold of 5 tons passed successfully. But that seal stuck in Ling Feng's head is the seal of true water. Ms. Bingming asked Ling Feng was swimming? He was really enjoying the beauty of nature here, wasn't he? The dean told Bin Ming's teacher that she was being too aggressive. After all, that's not the way to go, and you can't get results that way. Therefore, Ling Feng, wouldn't you want to consider leaving the alchemy department? Asked the dean. After all, the dean would personally train him in martial arts, and would absolutely become a new generation martial arts genius. Ming Bing told the abbot that she needed to remind him of something. In 2 months' time, there will be an alchemist competition between Mo Yina's academies, and Ling Feng is their special student in the alchemy department. And that's why this competition is so important to Lin's academy reputation. Guess we'll have to try to poach him next time, Ling Feng asked. 2 months? That's very short. And he wondered how many participants are involved. Bingming said that there would be 9 students from Mo Yutong coming, plus him, totaling 10 students. Ling Feng wondered if he could be the first out of 10. An angry Bingming said that she was going to slash him now, because he could make a pill better than everyone else and be the first. Bingming told Ling Feng to concentrate, because Mo Yunsong was very strong. His opponent would most likely be more than one top-level master. So he should immediately prepare a top-level pill for her. Ling Feng decided that first he would make a top-level sawtooth, use it to heal Cold Soul and her sister. Ling Feng tried to make pills, but every attempt was a failure. After all, these top-level pills were very complicated. Ling Feng told Bingming that he thought he was close, but unfortunately he still didn't have enough perseverance. Ms. Binmin said he's got a good pace. There's nothing to worry about. One step at a time and it'll work out. Ling Feng thanked the teacher and said that she was very kind to him. Ms. Bingming told him to try hard, and he should try harder. Cunning Ling Feng said that it was good that he hid it, and the teacher didn't discover it. Otherwise, she would have taken the pill from him. The level of the pill is increasing and so are the demands. If you want to reach perfection, you need to train hard every day for several years. But Ling Feng was a talent in alchemy after all, and was unexpectedly able to find such a way to prepare the pill. All it takes is a little telekinesis. Focus his mind on the process of making the pills, the likelihood of success will immediately increase. The power of a spiritual master can materialize with great precision. The control of materialization in alchemy is in no way comparable to the abilities of an alchemist. And the probability of success, said Ling Feng, almost 100%, and equal to him cannot be found anywhere. Ling Feng said he should count, these days, behind Ms. Bingming's back, how many pills above the level he secretly made. Ms. Bingming said, even though Ling Feng constantly fails at making pills, he respects the teacher so he can consider that there is progress. Even if he doesn't make one top-level pill, he is still a good student of hers. A joyful Ling Feng said that all the pills that he had prepared is his. He won't even give one pill to teacher Bingming. Bingming said that this boy is getting better despite a decade-long string of failures and is listening to her more and more. And it seems it's easy to be a disciple. After a month, the boy tried every day. But why wasn't there a single successful day, she wondered. Walking into Ling Feng's room, Ling Feng was startled, for he saw the teacher. Miss Bingming said that because he hadn't made a pill in a month, she had come specially to look at his progress. Ling Feng asked her if she wanted to watch the process, because it's not everyone's cup of tea. Miss Bingming controlled him resting on the hammock, and asked him if he was ready or not, because she was tired of waiting. Ling Feng said he was ready while she was sleeping, so he did everything, and gave her one warm pill. As she looked at it, she asked if it was a top-quality flight. She called him a parasite because he had finally made a top-quality pill. Good job, keep trying, she said. But suddenly, one pill fell out of Ling Feng's pocket, and he realized that he'd been burned. When Bingming saw it, she said it was another top-quality pill. She didn't call him a scoundrel, because he had actually been able to make a top-level pill before, and asked him to tell her how many pills he had made secretly from her. Frightened Ling Feng said not at all. Just these 2 things. But actually, in his head, he remembered that he had made about 100 pills. And if Bingming found them, he'd be dead. Cutting open his pants, Binmin found more pills. She called him a nasty boy for not showing all the pills. Binmin said he's terrible because she trusted him, and she doesn't even expect him to take anything for himself. It's all hers. Binming said that she was patient and encouraged him sincerely, but he ended up playing with her. It seems that it is pointless to cheer up and treat such a person well, so it is better to be tough and strict, she thought. Previously, she had thought that if he improved his alchemy skill this month, it would be an achievement. But never even she had thought that he would be able to make the highest level pills. The day of the competition had arrived. Sister asked Ling Feng if he was well prepared for today's alchemy competition. After all, she had heard that Mo Yinsong had quite a few top-level alchemy masters. Bing Ming showed his sister that these were all top-level saws created by his brother. After all, the best teachers have better students. Under her guidance, Ling Feng became a top-level alchemy master. Ling Feng said that as for the best teachers, the best students, this lady just ripped him off. Unfortunately, she doesn't know that he's not just some high-level alchemy master. Ling Feng said that he will definitely win the alchemy competition. And he already has a couple of trump cards ready for the competition. The dean told Ling Feng that they say the opponent is not weak at all, and asked him if he was confident. An overjoyed Ling Feng said that he was absolutely sure that he would be the best among all the students. Teacher Bin Ming said that there are a total of 10 people and he will be the first. And if he can't take the first place, he shouldn't even think about asking for a vacation in the future. Ling Feng said that alchemy is not very important but vacation is, and told the teacher to calm down because these 9 are just worthless, and watch him smear them. The gossiper said that Mo Yinzong's 9 disciples are extremely talented. There are already some really savvy top-level alchemy masters. The guy said it would be difficult then. After all, Ling Feng is a tough fighter. But as for alchemy, can he beat the masters? But suddenly, everyone shouted that Mo Yinsong's men had arrived. It was a surprise to them that Director Xia had arrived in person. The dean said that this year was the first alchemist competition of the 2 academies. It was of great significance to their academy. And he welcomed Elder Lin. But suddenly, a disciple came up to Ling Feng and asked, is he the unique disciple of the alchemy faculty of Linu Academy? It is said that he is very tough in fighting. What are his skills in alchemy? He asked. When the disciples saw Ling Feng, they said that he was just a kid and they thought he was fighting all the time. They're afraid he doesn't understand alchemy. Ling Feng just watched them laugh, and said when he won them, they would cry. The dean said since both teams were ready, he was ready to declare the alchemy competition open, and said that the competition will be held in 3 parts. The first part of the competition is to make a quality pill, no matter what level. The main thing is to make the structure as good as possible, and those whose pills are of the highest quality move on. And after 4 hours, finish, and out of 10 contestants, 5 go on. Mo Yunqiong, an alchemy student, told Ling Feng that 5 people were left in the first part. She said she thought Ling Feng would end it there. Ling Feng said that he wasn't worried about dealing with them at all. So he decided to borrow Bing Ming's chaise lounge to lie down. Ms. Bing Ming wondered what this boy was doing, because during the first part of the competition, he suddenly decided to sleep. Elder Lin told Principal Xia that their disciple is indeed very peculiar, and he means that using such unusual methods will result in losing. The dean said that this student had a very special way of thinking that they as elders could not understand. Mo Yunqiong, an alchemy student, said that she still wonders if he's really talented. But in reality, he seems like a total jerk. Ms. Bing Ming asked Ling Feng if he was going to ask for a weekend off. If he won, she would give him 2 weeks off. But Ling Feng decided to put his own terms and offered a month. Bing Ming agreed to his terms. However, if he did not win, she would make him remember what inhumanity was. Ling Feng said that, and he will definitely win and make them remember what inhumanity is. The disciples heard what Ling Feng was saying. They said he was too arrogant. He's very smug and talkative, and he doesn't give them any credit. Ling Feng said that it looked like he would have to show what he could do in alchemy to these students. Bing Ming saw the cyclone of martial arts flooding in the process, and Ling Feng is surprising her more and more with his skills. The dean said that Ling Feng was incredibly surprised. Previously, he had assumed that he was only physically fit and a master of alchemy. But now he couldn't imagine that he was not only in good physical condition, but had also reached the level of a martial artist. Ling Feng's sister noticed that he was growing up very fast, and time flew by as he became a martial arts expert. The guys were also surprised that Ling Feng was a martial arts expert, and that he has incredible strength. Since Ling Feng had grown to become a martial arts expert, it turns out he had no time to study alchemy either, said for the guys. In the process of obtaining the pill, Ling Feng calculated every step, and finally moved to the power of telekinesis. But by then, the guys from Mo Yinzong Academy had already prepared pills and were congratulating each other. However, they said Lin is the coolest. Not only is the quality perfect but the pill is mid-level. Elderly said that these guys were just self-praising again. Although the pills are only entry-level and mid-level, but the quality is really good. The dean said that Mo Yuncheong could create talents. But he wondered if Mo Yunseong's 9 students had already completed the task, but why Ling Feng hadn't finished it yet with only 15 minutes left. Ling Feng realized that he was in bad shape. After all, fire power required more strength and control than telekinesis. The Mo Yunseong guys said that the 4th hour was about to end and then the boy would never cook anything. And in their opinion, the competition could end. Bing Ming said considering Ling Feng's skills, he should have finished first. Why is he stalling for so long, she thought. Did he have some unforeseen difficulties? But a friend boomed and smoke sprinkled. The Mo Yunseong guys started laughing and said they knew he wouldn't make it. But suddenly he pulled a fry out of the oven and said it was hard. Ling Feng told the teacher not to worry. After all, he had done the sawing before them. It was just boring to rest, so he boiled some potatoes. But suddenly he took out his pill. Mo Yangzhen's disciples were very surprised that he had created a top-level pill. Elderly took it in his hands and said that it was an exceptional talent. Not only did he make a top-level pill, but also a perfect quality pill. The distressed guys from Mo Yunzong Academy hated him. And Ling Feng smilingly wished them a good journey, for their paths were diverging. Mo Yunzong's student hit Ling Feng and said that it was only the first round out after lunch. There would be a second round and they would tear it up. Ling Feng told her not to be in such a hurry. When the time comes, he'll kill all 4 of them. The guys have realized that this kid is terribly talented. And it's not easy to get him out, so they need to come up with a plan. Elderly told the dean that Linu Academy has a really good student. The dean said it's very kind of Elder Lin. After lunch, the second part of the competition, we can rest for now. The dean said the second part of the competition is quantitative. Pill levels don't matter. Whoever makes the most pills wins. And after 8 hours, 3 contestants will be eliminated. Mo Yunseong, a student at Mo Yunseong Academy, told Ling Feng that he was very daring. But would he have the courage to make top-level pills with her? Ling Feng said that's what he needed. Making top-quality pills. It's very interesting, and when the time is up, if she loses, he'll kick her. The apprentice agreed to his terms. And if he loses, she'll punch him in his piggy face. The dean told Ling Feng don't let yourself be fooled. If you make low-level pills, you can make more. Bing Ming said to the principal that there was no need to worry. After all, Ling Feng is very smart, if he decides to accept the challenge. Rest assured that he will surely do well. Mo Yunseong, a student at Mo Yunseong High School, said that Ling Feng was caught. After all, only 2 people will come out of the 3rd round, and she will not let him go any further. After all, Ling Feng and her make top-tier pills together, so because there won't be enough of them, they'll be out. Ling Feng said that Mo Yunseong's people are so stupid. After all, they assume that he doesn't see it, that it is a trick. So he thought it was time to show his first trump card. Disciple Lin said that he had easily made 10 mid-level pills to win for sure. Bing Ming said that the current situation was too dangerous. If Ling Feng wanted to be among the top 2, he would have to make at least 8 pills. But he chose to make the highest level. Academy student Mo Yunseong said that unfortunately, she didn't finish it. Out of the 5 top-level pills, she only finished 4. But luckily she hurt Ling Feng. After all, he wasn't done yet, and it looks like this is the first defeat she's left him with. But suddenly a stone jumped out and hit that student. It was Ling Feng who apologized and said that he hadn't kept track of the time and the cauldron exploded. But the joyful disciple told Ling Feng that his cauldron had been blown up. Therefore, he had lost. But Ling Feng told her not to be angry, and threw her 1 top-level pill as damage. Taking the pill, she said he must have done something. However, if he only did one thing, it wasn't enough to win. Ling Feng said if 1 wasn't enough for her, he still had 9 grand and could give it to her. Bing Ming was surprised that he was making 10 top-level pills at a time. The boy suddenly hid this maneuver discreetly. Even she didn't know anything. The dean said that he had learned earlier that Ling Feng was terrifyingly talented in martial arts, but he couldn't imagine that his talent in alchemy was even more terrifying. Elderly said that they had previously made Linu Academy a disgrace, but who would have thought that now they themselves would become so worthless? Mo Yunseong Academy's disciple Mo Yunseong was upset because all 3 of their disciples had been killed by this little guy. But Ling Feng shouted at her not to leave. and she asked him if she'd forgotten their bet. He hadn't kicked her yet. Elderly said it's just an alchemy consciousness network, nothing more. And he didn't think it was necessary to use martial arts when using betting. Mo Yunsong, a student of Mo Yunsong Academy, walked up to Ling Feng and told him not to rejoice so early. After all, Brother Ling is a true alchemy genius. After giving her a kick in the ass, Ling Feng said that in the third round, he would definitely make it. Seeing this, Elderly said that even though he was not used as a martial arts expert, he was still very strong. Bing Ming told Ling Feng that tomorrow is the third round and if he is ready. After all, that Lin Shangtian is very capable and dangerous. They say he became a top-level alchemy master a few years ago. Ling Feng asked, and what, a high-level master? He is only concerned about one thing. Teacher Bingming month of vacation is still in force, he asked. On the second day, Ling Shan met Ling Feng and said that he would completely blow him away today. The smiling and strong Ling Feng told him that he was very cocky, and his words will ruin him. But suddenly, the dean came out and said that the third round of the Linu and Mo Yunsong Academy Alchemist competition was open. And in this battle, it's Ling Feng versus Lin Shangtian. The dean said that the third round of the alchemy competition would be to see who could make the best pill and who would be the winner. The round will last 12 hours. Ling Feng said, looking at the materials that Lin Shan had chosen. It looked like he was going to make a top-level warming saw. If by his account it's like this, then Ling Feng has won. Because he wants to make a mystery-level pill. Ling Feng said that sometimes a mysterious master alchemy could surpass any boundaries. The mysterious level pill she made was much better than just for the top level. It can be said this pill is missing half a step to reach the heavenly level, said Ling Feng. Elder Lin said that the disciple of Linu Academy is enthusiastic. And it looks like this one might realize he's in trouble. Bingming said that Elder Lin is being too boastful. Elder Lin is extremely overconfident today, and she has a bad feeling about it. Ling Feng said that the liquid pill was done, everything was going smoothly. But somewhere, he saw a catch. After all, Ling Shan clearly understands that he is capable of making a top-level pill. He wondered why he was so confident today. He obviously had a method to defeat him. And he was Mo Yunsong's strongest disciple after all. But suddenly he realized that Lin Shan could also make a mysterious level pill, and even a higher level pill. Now making a mysterious level pill is meaningless, said Ling Feng. Even though he had never done it before, he would have to take the risk now. So he decides he needs a pill that's as unadulterated as possible. So he uses the essence of a martial arts expert, and infuses it into the pill. The dean was surprised that he had raised the air furnace for cooking. He asked Bin Ming if there was such a method of making pills. Ms. Bing Ming didn't understand what that boy was up to either. She had never seen him make pills like that before. In the process, Ling Feng repeated that he needed to introduce the essence of a martial arts expert when forming the pill. But suddenly, Lin Shan said, ready? Elder Lin said despite the fact that it is a warming saw, it has reached a mysterious level in addition to this top-grade quality. Last night, Elder Lin told Lin Shan that based on Ling Feng's methods that he had seen, the elder was certain that he did not yet know how to make a heavenly level pill. Rather, he only knew how to make a mysterious level pill. However, Lin Shan already has many years of experience in making mysterious level pill. If this boy has the ability to make mysterious level pills, it is still impossible for their quality to surpass his, said Elderly. Bin Ming said that yesterday's victory came too easily, causing her to underestimate her opponent. The dean told teacher Bing Ming to be patient. After all, Ling Feng's disciple's eyes are burning and he won't give up. Ling Feng told himself in his mind that he would prepare a much better pill than the mysterious level pill. Bing Ming couldn't understand what Ling Feng was doing in the end. After all, in the third part of the competition, he always finishes last as usual. Can it be done faster? The disciple said that Ling Shan had made a mysterious level pill so early. It seems that Ling Feng can't defeat him anymore. Suddenly, a ball came out of the furnace. When Ling Feng grabbed it, he didn't realize what the result would be. Ling Shan was surprised at what Ling Feng had already done. The disciple told him not to worry. After all, as she could see, the quality of what Ling Feng had done was not good. Bing Ming walked up to him and asked him what kind of pill he made after all. And he handed her a black-colored pill. The student said Ling Feng is just messing with their heads. Well, his teacher can't recognize his pill either. Elder Lin asked to look at that pill. But Bing Ming said that it wasn't in this section, and they would just admit defeat. The student said to teacher Bing Ming it's just a competition after all. Since her student had already made a pill, why not let them watch it to broaden their horizons, she said. Elder Lin told teacher Bing Ming if he saw correctly then it must be a heavenly level pill. The dean was surprised because the heaven level pill was still a level above the mysterious level pill. Actually, said Bing Ming, that the quality of this pill is very bad. Because of that it is completely ugly. But it is a real heavenly level pill. Miss Bing Ming realized that this boy's true talent at this age had already made a heavenly level. She was afraid that the people in Mo Yunsong would hate him, so she wanted to admit defeat, but there was no way to keep it a secret. Elder Li said that Mo Yunsong had actually lost. The dean thanked them for their fair competition. The dean announced that the winner of this competition was Linu Lingfeng, a student of the academy. The disciples of Linu Academy said that Mo Yunzong's followers had gotten to the point where they weren't shy about coming to their Linu Academy and showing off. A single heaven-level pill immediately put everything in place. A disappointed student Mo Yunsong said that he was pissed off by all of this. They came to bury the Linu Academy, and as a result, they suddenly lost. The academy student Mo Yunsong said that in a few years, Brother Lin would definitely be much cooler than this boy. Lin Shan said that she was wrong. After all, the boy had broken the boundary of his ability right during the competition by making a heavenly level pill. His talent level is extremely high, perhaps he himself will not reach such a level in his entire life. The disciple said that they would then wait for the competition between Linu and Mo Yunsong, and then let their other disciples settle the score by avenging Brother Lin. The apprentice said, but then we'd have to wait a few months. When they come back today, they'll call all the brothers and sisters. They'll go into the wilderness and give the Linu Academy students a real hell, torturing them to death. Elder Lin said that Ling Feng's so few possess such talent in alchemy, in fact they are very jealous of them. Ling Feng's talent is very outstanding and will probably bring him a lot of trouble. Judging from Elder Lin's behavior, Mo Yunsong's followers don't want Ling Feng to develop further, said Dean. The Dean told Bing Ming that the guy's ability is already known to everyone, and he is afraid that Mo Yunsong's people will treat him very badly. And Linu Academy can't lose a guy like him, and in his opinion, they should teach Ling Feng martial arts so that he would have the ability to defend himself. Bing Ming said that the headmaster was definitely right. But if one was distracted by this training, no matter how talented one would not be able to excel in either martial arts or alchemy. The dean asked what the guy wanted. But Ling Feng actually said he wanted a vacation. Bin Min once a month passes, he needs to go back and show her. And no excuses are allowed. The dean told Ling Feng that if there were any questions regarding martial arts in the future, he could always contact him. Ling Feng said although the principal praised him but his ancestors were great martial artists, compared to them this is a higher level. The guy came home and told Goldie that these few days are quite successful and these top-tier pills are his reward. Praising Goldie, because now he had turned into a ferocious beast of a second-level martial arts expert. And starting tomorrow when he is not at home he will guard his sister, said Ling Feng. The sister told the guy that in these days that he had given her the pills, she had reached the first level of martial arts expert. The guy decided to congratulate his sister, because now everyone in their house is a martial arts expert. Apparently the pills were very good. The pills are very good, but unfortunately teacher Bing Ming remains at the 7th level of martial arts beginner. And the area of the body where life energy is stored is called the dantian. And teacher Bing Ming has a problem with it, so there's no growth beyond the 7th level. And you can even develop abilities, but it won't do much good. The guy said that with this problem, the pills are not suitable for her, and that's a pity. His sister told him to stop talking about it. He's leaving tomorrow and she wants to feed him tonight. The guy said he could use telekinesis to create an arrow piercing metal and rocks and it would kill any enemy. The sister went outside and she thought she heard the sound of an explosion. Where did such loud noises come from, she asked the guy. Ling Feng said that he was just making pills all night and was very exhausted, and so he made a little noise. The boy realized that the ancestral arrow was indeed dangerous, and he didn't use it steadily yet. The guy realized that the ancestral arrow was indeed dangerous, and as long as he didn't use it steadily. On the way to the mountain descent, the guy noticed people. He asked them exactly a student of Linu Academy, and what happened to them. They said Mo Yangzhen's people were bullying others. They sent the disciples into the wilderness to chase those who go out. That's what it's all about, said the guy. Mo Yangzhen's disciples are asking for conflict with him and take out their anger on others. But the guy realized that he had been doing nothing but alchemy for the past few days. And it's a good thing he broke through to level 4 last night. After 3 days, Mo Yangzhen's people have the nerve to bully them. There's nothing they can do. The student said that 3 days ago, 2 groups of their students went out. As a result, 10 students from Linu Academy were beaten up one after another. The second student said that such bullying is happening to them, and some students were severely beaten. Why are the teachers and elders of Linu Academy silent? He asked. But the guys told him to chill out. After all, this is a disagreement between the disciples. The elders shouldn't have a hand in it. And Mo Yunsang's disciples are stronger than them. But suddenly, a female disciple came in and said that there was good news. Their best disciple, Di Xian, has turned up and is now heading straight into the wilderness. The guy rejoiced for this news and said that brother Di Xian is very strong. He will definitely tear apart Mo Yunsong's disciples. But suddenly bad news came that Di Xian had fought with Mo Yunsong's disciples and lost, and he had all his bones broken. But suddenly a guy came running in and said there was good news. It turns out there's a student from their Linu Academy, and he's hiding his face under a mask. While in the Minyu Gorge, he one-on-one was the 3 big groups of Mo Yunzong disciples. And then in the Dragon Gorge, and then one-on-one he defeated 6 of Mo Yunsong's top disciples. The boys were curious about the name of the masked student. The student said he would introduce himself, and his name is Linu Ling Feng Academy student. After gifting the 6th of the best disciples, Ling Feng said that he was also no good. And taking a brush, he painted a large turtle on his face. But suddenly, 2 other students crept up from behind and asked him how he dared to beat up his brother. They said that all the better students of Linu Academy had been beaten up, so how dare he stick his head out? Ling Feng told them that he was asking the best disciple to find him, and let them rest. But now Mo Yunsong knew that it was Ling Feng. The disciple realized that all 3 of them were martial arts experts of at least the 6th level. Looks like this guy shouldn't be underestimated. But the guys said he couldn't beat them. With the whole wilderness at their mercy, there's nothing the Academy can do to Linu. Academy disciple Mo Yunsong said since Linu Academy considers him as their hope, then they should just crush all their hopes. The students of Mo Yangzhen Academy decided to split up to finish him off as quickly as possible. But one of the students saw his brother and asked who did it, while Ling Fang stood on the tree and asked if the turtle he drew looked good. After striking the Academy student, Mo Yunsong realized that this boy was very strong. No one would have thought that he would beat him with one punch. The guy told brother Ling Yu that he should be careful, while Ling Feng said that another big turtle had come. In the Mingyu Gorges, several of Mo Yunsong's top disciples lost to Ling Feng. Only Ling Yu remained. The guys said that Ling Feng is extremely dangerous. But who is he? A big mystery. A student from Mo Yunsong Academy asked why everyone at Linu Academy was so happy. After all, when Ling Yu destroys Ling Feng, they would all have to leave the wilderness at once. The second disciple supported him. He said that there were rumors that Ling Feng was a level 5 expert, but their brother Ling Yu had long been a level 9 expert, and he would break through to the master level in a little while. There was no way he would lose. Suddenly, one of the guys said Ling Feng came. He said Ling Feng was too cowardly to come, but suddenly Ling Feng's voice came out. And he asked this guy, does he want to get hit in the head? Standing up, other friend Ling Yu asked, is he Ling Feng? The guy said correctly, and his full name is Ling Feng Tian. Ling Feng ordered him to tell him how to beat him up. Ling Yu didn't like it and thought it was insolent, and threatened to blow him up. Ling Yu used the yellow level 5 element technique out of anger. Ling Feng said he dared to challenge him with his fighting techniques. But Ling Yu was so slow that Ling Feng walked beside him, and he didn't even notice it. Ling Feng said that Ling Yu was incredibly overconfident, and it would be inadvisable to hit at full strength, and unfortunately, Ling Feng can't use the dragon strike with the fire sword. Because there are a lot of people here, it catches his eye and attracts a lot of attention. Fortunately, said Ling Feng, his precious body is quite flexible and strong, otherwise he would have already been severely injured. But suddenly, Ling Yu came to his senses and said that he himself was provoking him. Seeing him, Ling Feng realized that his power had increased. He had reached the level of a martial arts master. He used a heaven-level technique against Ling Feng, striking a two-stage disc and in addition merged the discs together. Seeing this, the guys said that Ling Yu was incredibly dangerous. This battle could be considered over. The guys at Linu Academy said that Ling Yu already had 1 foot at the martial arts master level, and Ling Feng was in real danger. These attacks left Ling Feng with no options. So he saw that this was going to be a violent clash. So he decided to retaliate with a mutual punch. But all of a sudden, Ling Yu rushed past Ling Feng. And he noticed that Ling Yu had changed the way he was fighting, and Ling Feng had made a mistake. Ling Yu said that Ling Feng was indeed tenacious since it didn't kill him already. He decided to use the Devil Sword attack. Withholding the punch, Ling Feng said that in addition to his body enduring heavy loads, he also had good movement speed, and there's no need for Ling Yu to be too self-satisfied. Being alone naked on a martial arts master's step isn't too dangerous. After striking Ling Yu, he told Ling Feng to stop. After all, his punches were absolutely worthless. Ling Feng said that Ling Yu's defense is very strong, and he only relies on the Overlord strike, and is afraid that it won't be enough to pierce through his armor. But Ling Feng came to his senses and stood up, said funny. But Ling Yu still believes that it will not penetrate his armor, asked Ling Feng. This trump card is a retaliatory strike. Ling Feng originally did not want to use it, but it's all because Ling Yu provoked him. Ling Feng used one technique from the ancestral spirits, the secret absorption technique. Ling Yu couldn't understand where Ling Feng got such tremendous strength from. What will he do now? Ling Feng asked after overpowering him with his peerless power of ancestral spirits. The guys at Mo Yunseong Academy said that the newly minted martial artist lost to a level 5 expert. That doesn't make sense. Ling Feng said that from now on, Mo Yunseong's followers were not allowed to enter this wilderness area. Otherwise, everyone he saw would be beaten up. The distraught students of Mo Yunseong Academy said that they would now only go to dangerous places in the wilderness for classes. Ling Feng noticed that there were people even higher than him in the crowd, and such a heavy atmosphere. It was good that no one was following him. The absorption technique is incredible. But even with such a strong body, Ling Feng was injured. In addition, after defeating Ling Yu, he had used up most of his energy, and his body was now in great pain. But suddenly, someone from behind told Ling Feng that he was caught. Who was he? Ling Feng asked in surprise. Ling Feng didn't understand what was the matter. After all, this person had suddenly appeared behind him, and he didn't even suspect anything. Taking off his mask, he said that Ling Feng didn't need to know who he was. When Ling Feng saw him, he said trouble and quickly ran away. This stranger asked Ling Feng if he wanted to run away. He's a quick thinker, but unfortunately he can't run away from death. Ling Feng said that this stranger is very fast. His level is higher than the expert, which is 2 levels higher than him. Even full of strength, Ling Feng is afraid that he won't be fit to be his opponent, what to speak of when he has injuries. But Ling Feng realized he was in a bad way. After all, this huge river is full of evil spirits. If an evil spirit entered his body, death would instantly follow. Why did the stranger stop? Telling Ling Feng that he could also run across the river. Ling Feng said that Mo Yunseong would come to be of great importance to him since he had already sent a martial arts expert after him. The stranger said that Ling Feng is very funny, and he really wants to kill him. However, as Ling Feng could see, he gave him a chance to escape. Unfortunately, Ling Feng couldn't escape him. After all, Ling Feng had beaten the disciples of Yutong Academy outside, and made them suffer shame in the competition. And this time, the torment would be inflicted on him. After all, Ling Feng still hoped to deceive everyone by hiding his face. Ling Feng realized that Mo Yuqiong had been plotting against him for a long time. He was very angry about it. The stranger said that Ling Feng was right, because Mo Yuong Academy was very seriously interested in him, and he especially waited for Ling Feng to be as vulnerable as possible, for reliability. Ling Feng told him, to cut a chicken with a bull knife, you have to be very cowardly. After all, they followers of Mo Yutsen are all sad and shameless people. Ling Feng realized that he had no way out, because behind him is the Annan River, inside it he will surely die, and so it remains only to fight to the end. The stranger said that Ling Feng's body strength was more than he expected, a true mastery. It's a pity, but it will die. After falling into the river, Ling Feng said that the evil spirits would eat his heart and bones, and this time he would not escape. The stranger jumped after Ling Feng, for he had assumed he was trying to get away from him. The stranger said that this river is incredibly dangerous. If a long time passes, it will be difficult for experts to avoid death. So we must act quickly. After hitting Ling Feng with an attack, the guy apologized to his sister, saying that he didn't think he would die like this here, while the guy's sister sensed something and said she could hear Ling Feng calling her for help. Miss Bingming told Ling Qing that of course she understands that her sister is worried about her brother. But right now, no one knows where he is, and there's nothing they can do. Ling Feng was ambushed. He realized that against such a strong funnel, his chances of surviving were very minimal. The stranger said that Ling Feng was more dangerous than he thought. So, he wouldn't hesitate and attacked with a heaven-level technique. With such colossal attacks, Ling Feng realized that he could not hide. He could only fight back to the end. He has another trump card up his sleeve that he decided to use a heavenly-level telekinesis attack, stopping arrows, but one of the arrows pierced his broad chest. He was frustrated that he did not have time to use the attack. The stranger said that Ling Feng was very gifted, but however, he was still only a martial arts expert. Seeing that he was still alive, the stranger didn't understand how this was possible. Suddenly, something exploded. The stranger said that he never thought Ling Feng would turn out to be a spiritual master, and his talent is incredibly intimidating. A joyous Ling Feng said that he had won after all. The martial arts expert had finished off the expert. A true miracle. Is this the end of his life, he thought? He was thrown into a vortex somewhere unknown. When he opened his eyes, he wondered if he was still alive. He didn't understand, because he was kind of taken by the funnel, wasn't he? And how he got into this place, he could understand. And he saw a way out. But he can't get out either, for his wounds are too severe. Evil spirits have entered his body, and there is no cure. But suddenly he saw a golden glint behind the stone. As he looked at them, he wondered if they were brushes of gold. Taking it in his hands, he couldn't believe his eyes and started counting the pieces. And he started counting exactly 15 pieces. These golden stones are amazing, their brilliance reflecting the incredible power of the earth and sky. To find one such stone is a rare stroke of luck, and he found 15. Having this, not only would he be able to cure himself of evil spirits, but he would also be able to sanctify his body. So he would be able to break through to the next level of his abilities. This is the reward for such agony, shouted Ling Feng. He said there was no time to waste, and it was time to drive the evil spirits back to where they belong. Taking a piece of this gold, Ling Feng didn't expect that she would have such a powerful sun energy. With this gold, not only did he regain his strength, but he became more powerful and dangerous than before. These gold stones are of rare value, said Ling Feng. And he must take it out. With the help of the bottom, he can help his sister. And Ling Feng remembered that teacher Bing Ming also had problems in the Dantian realm. After all, there was also a chance that these stones would have a miraculous effect on her as well. He could take advantage of this opportunity. And he realized that it was time to leave, said Ling Feng. And he wondered what the place outside was like. Climbing to the top on Ling Feng Mountain, saw a very beautiful scenery and felt such cool air. Seeing the huge waterfall, he feels like he could cultivate there. It's this second-level golden monkey martial arts master's golden monkeys. But suddenly those monkeys got angry and Ling Feng said that it was very vigilant. He hadn't encountered them before, but the gold stones had enhanced his abilities. And now they'll be very angry. He still has 20+ days of vacation left. He's just in time to practice his martial arts skills. But as the days passed, Ling Feng returned home screaming. His sister met him and told him that all this loot seemed much heavier than before. Ling Feng said of course, because he had practiced very hard for a month in the wilderness. Now his beautiful body could withstand a load of 20 tons, and the impact force was now 10 tons. My sister said once he's back, it's good. And she said she made him some meat soup and called him to eat. When Ling Feng had eaten enough, he said how good her sister was at cooking. But he remembered about the golden stones and decided to give her one. In the wilderness, he used up 4 gold stones that helped him break through 2 levels. And he's already a level 7 expert. Taking the stone, she marveled that it was a marvelous stone, a heavenly luster. She told Ling Feng that she didn't need this wonderful thing and let him keep it. Ling Feng told her it was just for her. And he has 10 more pieces. Not only will it help her progress, It will also help cure her ailment. My sister said that during these few days, thanks to his pills, her ailment had not bothered her. But Ling Feng said he needs to be completely rid of the disease. He won't rest on this. Taking the stone in her hands, sister was overjoyed. Ling Feng said that using this stone could be painful, and she had to be patient. Just endure it, and there will be no problem. The sister told Ling Feng that she understood, and said that he was tired for this month. Let him go to bed. Drinking this stone, she was consumed by such pain that she said she couldn't be a burden to Ling Feng. She wants to become stronger. When Ling Feng woke up the next morning, he couldn't find his sister. So he ordered Goldie to go with him to look for his sister, while his sister was at the river and couldn't believe her eyes. After all, that stone had changed her face so much that Ling Feng would be shocked. But when he saw his sister, he said something about her being very beautiful. Ling Feng said they should go up the mountain and show everyone how beautiful she was. The girl ran after him and shouted that she was happy to be his sister. Ling Feng also said he was happy. Ling Feng said that his sister was cured of her ailment and became incredibly beautiful. And now he's worried about her. When they arrived at the academy, the guys couldn't figure out who she was. They assumed that she was not a student at Linu Academy, and how they had not noticed her before. Mahjong asked, what was even going on? After all, these Linu Academy students didn't look at her at all. Ling Qing didn't know why so many people were looking at her, and she was starting to feel a little shy out of it. When she came to Bingming's teacher, she asked if this was her special student. It's been a month since we've seen each other, so he must have come stronger, she said. Ling Feng said, I haven't seen you in a month. And Teacher Mingming, you've gotten a little better again, he said, pulling out her sword and holding it to Ling Feng's throat. She said that she had just seen his sister suddenly become incredibly beautiful. Did he bring something useful? She asked. Ling Feng said that it was actually simple. Last night, a star fell directly on her sister from the sky. After that, her sister immediately changed. This answer did not satisfy Teacher Bingming, and she pulled out a second sword. Seeing this, Ling Feng said, this is actually one of the golden roots. When taking it in hand, an unusual atmosphere is immediately created. Hearing this, she was very happy, and said it was the gold Shunsher stones she had dreamed of. She asked if he still had any Shunsher stones left. She said she would give him 10 sacred pills in return. 1 stone would be enough for her. Ling Feng said that he had already made heaven-level pills in the alchemy competition, and 10 pills would not be enough. So how about an exchange for 30 sacred pills, he asked? Bingming said that he is a very good student, and unceremonious. Since he wants the 30 pills, she agrees. Ling Feng took the pills and said that they were of poor quality, and that she needed to keep working hard. And taking a stone from his pocket, he held it out to her, and said that this Shunsher stone was hers. Holding the pills in his hand, Bingming said that her vital energy Dantian was impaired, which prevented her from overcoming the 7th level of a martial arts disciple. Moreover, because of this, she couldn't develop in alchemy. And now, finally, her Dantian problem could be cured, and she could also further develop in alchemy. Bingming told Ling Feng to go make pills, and she should go treat her ailments. Ling Feng said if there was another person, he would request a few hundred pills or no pills at all. Ling Feng remembered that he too should practice making pills. It was said that Teacher Bingming had spent years to make 100 kinds of heaven-level pills, and he wondered how long it would take him. 10 days later, Ling Feng had already made the 3rd kind of heaven-level pill. This is simply an incredible speed. But suddenly, he heard a voice asking him to come out. Standing at the door, Ling Feng said that it was the girl he had defeated the other day. She said she was telling Ling Feng that his days were numbered. And Mo Tsong's older brother Mojing came and asked if he was Ling Feng. Ling Feng smilingly said that it was him, the famous one. Who's asking? Ling Feng asked. And Mo Kun said that Ling Feng had once injured her sister, and today he would pay him back double. Ling Feng said that she was hurting his sister back then. Naturally, he couldn't help but comfort Mahjong. And Mo Kun said he didn't care about the color of the gold. The usual showmanship won't stand a single blow. Ling Feng said that he didn't care who he was, a disciple of Linu Academy or from somewhere else, since he dared to challenge then take it. Amo Tsong said that this boy's golden energy is not simple, the abilities are not up to the 7th level of a martial arts expert. Pulling out all his anger, he said, but that won't do, he's a 7th level martial artist. Seeing Amo Tsong's attack, Ling Feng realized that his real ability at this moment was roughly at the third level of a martial artist, but he would not be able to defeat him. If he is incapable now, then he only has to use his spiritual abilities. Only then perhaps Ling Feng would raise a ruckus and it wouldn't be a bad ending. But suddenly, Ms. Bingming told them to stop. And she told them, "Oh Khan, he's got a nerve. He came and fought with her alchemy student." Bingming said Mo Lan originally bullied Lin Qin, then was punished. "Mo Khan, can't he see justice?" she asked. Mo Tsong said that Bin Min doesn't count for anything. However, her position within the academy is high. And he can't argue with the alchemy teacher. Ling Feng said she had defeated Mo Yunzong's students in the martial arts and alchemy competition, and that was a great achievement for the academy. And if Mo Tsong is so gifted, then at the competition between Ling and Mo Yunzong Academy, fight their best fighters instead of showing off here. Mo Tsong said since the competition is over, he's ready. He asked Ling Feng if he dared to fight him in the competition. Ling Feng agreed to his conditions without thinking for a long time, and said that he would beat him in front of everyone during the competition. Mo Kun said that today, because of Bing Ming's interference, there is no option to deal with Ling Feng. But in 4 months, he'll deal with Ling Feng honestly, and no one will be able to interfere. Lin Ming said to Ling Feng, "Something on too reckless. This Mo Khan is socially provoking him." Teacher Bing Ming told Ling Feng that he pissed her off. After all, Ling Feng is an alchemy master, why the hell would he fight him? She asked. Ling Feng said that he and this Mo family must come to some decision sooner or later, there is no escaping it. Besides, he still has 4 months to train, no need to worry. "Okay, dear teacher," said Ling Feng. And asked how was her Dantian energy. Wasn't his stone wasted? Bing Ming said that the Dantian energy had been successfully restored, and she had already reached the first level of martial arts expert. Ling Feng said that he was very happy for her, because now they were all martial arts experts, and they all possessed this golden energy. After 20 days, Ling Feng blew up the furnace again. But it was too difficult to make 10 pills at a time, and only 5 were successful. However, no matter what one says, and this is already 20 heaven-level pills. Ling Feng feels like it doesn't take much time, and he can develop well in the skill of making heaven-level pills. Ling Feng said that Miss Bing Ming has a ruthless beauty. Ita girl is extremely terrifying, always pulling out her blade on occasion. Ling Feng said that he had just made one, and it came. When she took it in her hands, she said that it was a pill of the highest quality. Miss Bing Ming said time flies very fast, and from the time he passed Linu Academy's certification in the alchemy department, half a year had already passed. She decided to give him another news that tomorrow is another certification of Linu Academy. He is the best student of the alchemy faculty. On behalf of the alchemy faculty, he will be accepting new students. The next day, Mount Linu was the site of the academy certification. Qiyun, the daughter of the Fengqing family, said the mountain is so steep, there was a reason she walked so far to participate in the evaluation. Ao Ding from the Ao family told her that she was right to come. In the past 6 months, Linu Academy had become the most honored academy. Li Ming said the Linu Academy had become incredibly prestigious in these 6 months, only worth the success of Ling Feng, master of the alchemy department. It was said that during the open competition, he had beaten Mo Yunxiang's students with a single stick. And in the alchemy competition, he did something amazing. Qiyun confirmed Li Ming's words. And in their Fengqing family, everyone used to come to Mo Yunyong before, but now she had specially come to Linu Academy to study alchemy. The dean said the guys who make it to the alchemy department must be tested at Mount Linu. And then dear Ling Feng will do the selection. Qiyun saw Ling Feng and was surprised by his beauty. Sister Ling Qing and Goldie were walking next to him. They were all so cute. Elder Zhu said that at the certification 6 months ago, Ling Feng took and bypassed their children for testing and they still lost their money. However, the Li family elder said Ling Feng is their alchemy genius. It seems that being friends with him now is the most advantageous. But make him a little angry, and the events of 6 months ago will happen again. The dean reiterated that the rules were not complicated. As always, the Indians needed to climb as high as they could, and ordered everyone to climb the mountain. 2 hours later, the Li family elders said that their guys were already at the 30th step by the time they reached the 30th step first, and they would be accepted. The second elder said that they didn't necessarily need to reach the 90th step like Ling Feng, the most important thing was that it was without incident. The dean said although the results of the two families are good, the few kids who came from afar are also doing well. At this rate, within a few years, Linu Academy will overtake Mo Yunsong Academy in every way. The stranger said it had been 2 hours. And the 50 steps have not yet been passed. Does Linu Academy accept such students every year, she asked? Who are these budding talents? Asked the guy loudly. It was immediately clear to him that they were scum. When the dean saw him, he remembered that a few years ago during the Ding Academy's certification, Wu Yu had climbed to the 55th step, becoming a disciple of the academy, and receiving their recognition. However, he has an arrogant character, a lot of ill intentions, envy and malice towards the mentors. And in the end, the dean kicked him out of the academy. The evil dean asked Wu Yu why he came to Linu Academy. To which Wu Yu laughed and said that he was now a follower of Song. This petty Linu Academy of theirs didn't care about him at all. Frowning his eyebrows, the dean asked the follower of Song? Song is one of the strongest academies in Shenwu. Linu Academy is not their equal. The dean couldn't think that Wu Yu had taken to it. Wu Yu said that some century has the mood to come to see. He could not imagine that there would be no talent here. And in fact, the small gate is a passage for small people. But suddenly some guy started yelling at him, saying he was too crazy. And when he severely wounded his brother, he hadn't paid him back yet. Looking at the man, Wu Yu called him a lowly loser who dared to shout something else in his direction, and ordered his pet to chop up the man. The man was surprised. Asshole, he is only a level 3 martial arts expert. Is this leopard really a level 4 expert? The man said the leopard is incredibly ferocious, just like its bloodthirsty master. He's fiercer than Ling Feng's golden lion. The dean got angry and shouted Wu Yu enough, and said that just because he was Ying Qiong's disciple, it didn't mean he was allowed to run amok here. Wu Yu said, the principal is quite imposing. He is a successful disciple of Song, came to share his experience. Does Linu Academy not even have successors, and the principal has to make an appearance by himself? The dean said this boy has a lot of nerve. The dean is a generation older than him, and he can't speak against him, otherwise it would look unfair. The pet approached Wu Yu, and the guy said to the dog, whoever dares to approach him, let him be mauled right away. But suddenly he flew up and said that he had come to Mount Linu to compete with everyone. Standing up on the steps, he sighed with his hands and laughed, saying that Linu Academy's students were so frail that they made him feel disappointed. The dean realized that Wu Yu intended to disrupt the grading by taking and dropping all the guys back. Looking at Wu Yu, Ling Feng said, this guy is buying it, this is too trivial. But suddenly Ling Feng asked Goldie if he could see that leopard, and ordered him to flog it for him. After beating the leopard, Qiyun realized that this little guy was so cool. Beating a beast of the 4th level of martial arts expert, as cool as its master. Decaz laughed and said when you take an example from such a master, it's hard for him not to be strong. Seeing this, we realized that this lion was a 6th level martial arts expert. Since he had beaten his leopard, Wu Yu wants to take it for himself. But Ling Feng's sister came up to Goldie and stroked him and told him not to be angry. Seeing this, Wu Yu said to pack them both to him. Seeing this, the guys said that Wu Yu was so brave, taking and flirting with Ling Qing right in front of Ling Feng's face. But the evil Ling Feng said he was the one who dared to disrespect his sister. Wu Yu told Ling Feng not to show off. He wants to speak for Linu Academy, but he's still a sucker. Wu Yu told him he's waiting for him upstairs. If he wants to compete, let him catch up with him. But the calm Ling Feng just sat back and watched to see how far this guy could get. After reaching the 66th step, Wu Yu waved his hand and said that this was the biggest record of Linu Academy. Ling Feng laughed and asked him if he was crazy. The best record had long since been updated. Wu Yu said there's no need to exaggerate. That's the top of MT Linu over there. He'll admit that he hasn't climbed, but let Ling Feng show him what he can do. The dean shouted to Ling Feng that it was time to show him what he could do. Taking all his strength, Ling Feng told him that he would show him what was called climbing a mountain. Wu Yu couldn't believe his eyes and said that it was unreal. Ling Feng told him that the highest step 6 months ago had been overcome by him. Ling Feng took him by the scruff of the neck and said that he had just admitted to himself that he was unable to climb to the top. Then Ling Feng would help him now. Wu Yu shouted that he would come back, but Ling Feng told him no, for the mountain was too high for him. Wu Yu asked Ling Feng, is he so easily able to climb to the top of the mountain? Ling Feng got angry and said that he didn't need to know who he was. He only needed to remember that he had beaten Wu Yu. Wu Yu asked that he dared to fight him? And he remembered him. Ling Feng told him that he had treated his sister badly, and how could he turn a blind eye? But Wu Yu told him not to hit. After all, he was Ing Tsung's disciple, and if Ling Feng hit again, and Ing Tsung wouldn't let it go. Taking him by the shirt, Ling Feng remembered that he was Ing Tsung's representative, and because of the respect, he would put up his best. After seeing this spectacle, the dean began to laugh and said that physically, Ling Feng was very good, and he had finally shown his power. Chiyun said that Ling Feng is so cool and the alchemy department is incredibly cool, and she should go there. Ling Feng, walking away, said, who would have thought that Ing Tsung's disciples were so worthless? Taking him by the scruff of his neck, Ling Feng asked him to go downstairs. Wu Yu didn't like it and told them to wait. After all, he would still come back. The dean told everyone to calm down because the burden is gone. And Linu Academy's grading process begins anew. 4 hours later, Ling Feng shouted to Ms. Bing Ming, hurry over here. And hurry up and save him. Ling Feng said, so many young girls want to enter the alchemy department. Hurry up and think of something, Ling Feng said. Ms. Bing Ming. Bin Min said, it's fine. Let him continue with the selection. After all, the recruitment authority has been given to him. Ling Feng told everyone that they would each rewrite what they needed from this alchemy notebook. The alchemy assessment is in 3 days. Whoever does better will stay. Bing Ming told Ling Feng that she didn't know there was such a big demand for it. Ling Feng said that he didn't really need it. Coping with so many girls is actually hard. But suddenly, Chi-Yun came in and said that she wanted to ask Ling Feng the question. She said that the Pasconic flower and the aster flower are very similar in properties. Can they be used together? Ling Feng said that using them together is fine. But the fruit has different medicinal properties, so it would be difficult to use them together. Of course, if you control it well you can. Chi-Yun asked Ling Feng, how is it going? Ling Feng said that it might show, and after that, Chi-Yun just melted. Ling Feng was so exhausted that he told Bing Ming that he was passing it on to her. And he needs a day off. And for about 2 weeks, he'll be gone. Bing Ming laughed, and said that Ling Feng wouldn't be able to handle the young girl's soap. After all, he himself was still inexperienced. After all, according to Bing Ming's grading results, only Chi-Yun had the skills to enter the alchemy department. In the wilderness, in these few days, Ling Feng had gone from a 7th-level expert to a martial arts master, and had also beaten several Mo Yunsong disciples, quite productively. But suddenly, he was attacked, and Ling Feng didn't realize where it came from. It was a creature very rare, the Qin-Ping bird. Ling Feng began to study and became nervous because how dare she attack a martial arts master. When Ling Feng attacked him, he missed, and shouted to him that he couldn't fly, and if the bird wanted to deal, let him come down. But suddenly the fog fell and Ling Feng wondered if the bird could do something in the fog. Because Ling Feng is ready to teach him a lesson. Using his spiritual energy, Ling Feng dispelled the fog and aimed his sword at the bird's head. He said if the bird obeyed him, he wouldn't kill it. But suddenly she turned into a little chick. Ling Feng said, and beasts have a well-developed talent for pretending to be cute. In the future, Ling Feng will call him Xiao Qin. The abilities of the Qingping bird are very huge, but if it is well cared for, who knows where the limit of those abilities will be. If he meets an enemy that Ling Feng can't defeat, he can always fly away on it. Ling Feng asked Xiao Qing if there are any special places in this area? Places to train. He needs to arrange an expedition. Who would have thought, said Ling Feng, that a martial arts master-level bird was so submissive, and looked incredibly dangerous. After arriving at the cave, Ling Feng said that the atmosphere of the afterlife was not a simple forbidden area, but he should go there. Telling Xiao Qin that he will go to the dangerous cave. And let him stay here and not go anywhere, let him wait for him. But suddenly, someone came into this cave as well and asked Ling Feng, who was also a student of Linu Academy. The forbidden area is incredibly dangerous, and you can't go there. It was Doug Yu, a student of Linu Academy. Ling Feng told her that he was very grateful for the warning. Ling Feng remembered that he had met her on the academy grounds, but he had forgotten her name. Doug said they are cooking. There is a warrior spirit inside whose weapons are incredibly murderous. There is also an incredibly dangerous beast that has killed countless daredevils. And Ling Feng is still young, don't let him do anything stupid. Ling Feng decided to trick her and told her he was leaving. And a satisfied Doug was glad what was going on with this trope, or else the kid would have been in trouble. Ling Feng hid behind a rock and watched until Doug left. He realized there was something valuable inside, so he couldn't help but go there. Once inside, Ling Feng said that it was very unusual inside. And it seems that Sister Doug wasn't lying, many people had really died here. But the farther he goes, the more he feels the atmosphere of death. It seems a terrible beast is somewhere nearby. After stepping over the line, Ling Feng realized that he had passed the broken boundary. It was a dragon and lion mixed worm. Ling Feng saw an incredibly dangerous beast that had the ability to strike fear into all living things. Ling Feng said that the beast had no mind, but it was incredibly ruthless and vicious, and the guy couldn't escape. So Ling Feng decided to fight him and see who's more dangerous. After conducting several attacks and expending his strength, Ling Feng realized that this beast had a unique technique. But the dragon attacked back and hit Ling Feng. Lying on the ground, he said that the fire power was incredibly huge, and once it started, it was almost unstoppable. Ling Feng's whole body is now on fire, and he can't stand it. The guy said that the dragon's body is invulnerable, so he needs to change his attack. It is useless to attack him with the fire-breathing dragon's sword. Ling Feng felt that his entire body was already on fire, so he decided to try his most powerful punch. After launching this attack on the dragon, Ling Feng was surprised that a single strike was enough to defeat the beast. But suddenly, he noticed that his hand was on fire, and it looked like the fire had penetrated his body. Ling Feng realized that fire was much harder to deal with than a beast, and it would take a long time to get rid of the fire. Ling Feng said that staying in one place is very dangerous, and the deeper the cave, the more dangerous beasts. And he can't stay here for long, he has to find the treasure, take it and leave. As Ling Feng climbed the stairs, he began to feel something. The treasure that the dragon lion was guarding must be here somewhere. But suddenly he found some kind of sword. It was very old, it must have divine properties, Ling Feng thought. When he touched the sword, it fell apart. Ling Feng said, "The appearance is not true," and cut his finger. But suddenly, something happened that Ling Feng himself did not expect. The sword shards were completely embedded in his hand. He couldn't move it, but he saw them begin to spread through his veins, and were about to be all over his body. Ling Feng said that his strength and body have no chance at all to deal with those shards, and his body is completely poisoned. After all, these shards are very heavy, as if they were huge rocks. Ling Feng can withstand 10 tons of external load, but he can barely handle the load inside his body, and he hit a dead end. The weight of the shards is 7.5 tons, and Ling Feng's body is in the process of being destroyed. Ling Feng realized that these destructive shards were indeed incredible weapons, as if there was another being inside the body. There's a reason this is a restricted area. First the fire, now the shrapnel, all incredibly deadly to humans. Ling Feng said that he could use his abilities to absorb it, then using the power of fire, suppress the effect on the shards. And that's a very good way out. Ling Feng can't take it anymore. This is his last chance, see if he can survive, no matter what challenges lie ahead of him. He doesn't intend to give up a single step. 5 days later, Ling Feng came out of the cave and shouted to Xiao Qin, "Where are you?" While the bird was sleeping, taking him in his arms, Ling Feng told Xiao Qing that he didn't run away and Yudo deserved respect for him. Ling Feng told the birds that she had led him to an unusual forbidden area, allowing him to have a rewarding experience. So the boy decided to show the bird what he'd learned. By killing the beast, he mastered this power. But that's not all. Ling Feng risked his life to test the shards. And even though they're small in size, they're very powerful. But suddenly, the bird screamed. Ling Feng realized it must have been frightened, and gave it the pills it deserved. Ling Feng said that coming back with her would attract too much attention. He ordered her to stay in the middle of nowhere, to practice, and he would call her at the right time. The guy said he had to go back, and he doesn't even know what's up with the alchemy department now. Lying on the hammock, Bingning wondered when that bad boy would come back. But suddenly she heard footsteps, and the rock came back. The stranger told Bingning's sister that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. But apparently Bingning didn't like it, and asked Suzy why he had come. Suzy said, after she left Yao Tsung without even saying goodbye, it made him miss her a lot. He didn't know that she was at Linhu Academy for a long time, and as soon as he found out, he immediately went here. Bing Ning said that she didn't think she was still remembered, and told Suzy to back off. Suzy told Bing Ming that there was no girl as beautiful as her in this world. Bing Ming jumped out of the hammock and told him not to be insolent. This wasn't Yao Tsung's territory, and it wasn't proper. Suzy laughed and said, "Can you really compare the small Linhu Academy with the great and numerous Yao Tsung Academy? He came to take her away from here. No one will dare to stop him." But suddenly Bin Min screamed and said he was a jerk. But then the girls ran in and asked what was wrong. When he saw them, he said the girls were very nice, especially the blonde one, whom he hadn't seen yet. Bing Ming called his return nickname and told him to talk to her. And there's nothing to flirt with little girls. But suddenly Suzy got angry and said how dare she shout at him, that she was very brave. So he decided to teach her a lesson by punching her in the face. He said that they had studied together, and it was nothing that he had hit her. After all, he could hit anyone from Yao Tsung Academy. The girls got mad and said he was a real bastard. And don't even think about hitting her again. Suzy got angry and called the two juveniles, and asked how dare they call him a scumbag? And with one slap, he hit the other two girls. But then the dean came in and asked who he was? And how dare he hit students and academy teacher Lena? He said that Suzy is the grandson of the influential academy elder Yao Tsung, and only that those girls had spoken disrespectfully to him, so he taught them a little lesson. The dean said that Yao Tsung's influence is very huge, maybe even more than Ing Tsung's influence. The situation is very unpleasant. The girls said he was lying. At first he ordered to Ben Ming's teacher, but after refusing, he got angry and raised his hand. Suzy got angry again and said that she was lying. Watch out he doesn't kill her, but suddenly someone from behind said to kill him instead of the girls. It was Ling Fong and called him a Japanese jerk, and asked how he dared to act like that by coming here. Ling Fong told the director that he came to deal with it. The director said as if he was from Yao Tsung. Su Qi asked who he was. After all, he had never even seen him before. Ling Fong laughed and asked him if he was so special. Ling Fong said he was a monk of the Holy Mountain. Suzy was surprised and couldn't believe that he was a monk of the Holy Mountain. After all, the Holy Mountain is one of the oldest and strongest academies. Every elder is not below the level of a great martial artist, and their wisdom level is boundless. Suzy said that he remembered his grandfather telling him that Ing Tsung and Yao Tsung looked insignificant compared to the monks of the Holy Mountain. Ling Fong asked as a worthless follower of Yao Tsung dared to doubt him? But with fear, Suzy said he had no doubt. And he usually glares at other people, but now all of a sudden a boy is glaring at him. His self-confidence comes from within. It is very possible that he really is a monk of the Holy Mountain. Ling Fong said that he was a respected monk of the Holy Mountain, and Suzy dared to touch people dear to him. First of all, he hit his sister. And 2, he hit his intern. 3rd, he hit his older brother's fiancée. Suzy was startled and realized that Bing Ming was his older brother's fiancée. His older brother must be a monk of the Holy Mountain too. They will kill him, and even his grandfather won't help him, he thought. Suzy said that he wanted to apologize and make amends to the 3 girls by handing over the heavenly level pills. Suzy realized that this guy is 100% a monk of the Holy Mountain, because he behaves so unwaveringly. Ling Fong said that they didn't need his pills. He raised his hand to his loved ones. What pills could cover that? Ling Fong said that it would be like this. He would only need to take 3 punches from him, and today's event would be a thing of the past. Suzy asked, only 3 punches? He would be very happy to accept them. Ling Fong said, apologizing in advance. Suzy said no big deal, he can start. After all, it was his mistake. He is a comer from Ing Tsung, and does not want to have problems with the monks. After striking the first blow, Suzy thought he could withstand it, but no such luck. Now he realized that he was a monk of the Holy Mountain. After striking all 3 blows, Suzy couldn't stand it, and holding his butt ran home to his place in Yao Tsung. But in Suzy's gaze, Ling Fong saw something alarming. He seemed to hold a grudge. Then he thought that he couldn't let him leave. Bing Ning walked up to Ling Fong and thanked him for what he did today. Ling Feng said that he had done what he had to do. Bingning said that difficult boy is getting better and better. After all, he dared to impersonate a monk of the holy mountain to help her. While Suzy said that he needed to recover for a while, then tricked Bingming out of Linu Academy to do whatever he wanted. Perfect reading of Sutsu. No one will even notice. And no one knows what's in his mind. However, now he still needed to return to Yao Tsong to heal his wounds. Ling Feng said through his mask that he had finally caught up with his Suzy. And he must be destroyed, right in the middle of nowhere. Ling Feng thought this plan was perfect, because no one would even notice. And no one knows what's in his head. He looked around and saw that there were 3 other people ahead. When he saw the masked man, Suzy asked in surprise how did he get here. Suzy said this time they should break into Linu Academy, finish off Lin Feng and his beast. And there is also a beautiful girl, said Suzy, and she must be taken with him and brought to him. But suddenly, he met Ling Feng on the way. He said he'd found him. Ling Feng fell out of the sky. Ling Feng said he was a sneaky scoundrel who took 2 assistants to attack him. Waving his sword, Suzy told Ling Feng to surrender, for he had no chance to escape. Ling Feng said that all 3 of them were running away at a breakneck pace. Too bad they didn't know what he was up to. Finally, the guy said he got to Suzy. And just as time is running out, we should get started. Did he really take his assistants with him? Ling Feng asked. But he also has brothers, said Ling Feng. A while earlier, Ling Feng had caught up with that Su boy and said that he was glad to meet him. He missed him to death. Ling Feng told Su that it was a chilly evening tonight. He suggested that he put on his cloak and stay warm. Su thanked him and said that the weather was really cold today, but he was not afraid because he was warmed by his brother. Ling Feng told him that he had something to do and had to run away. When he got to the academy, he would make sure to find the director. Su said that guy's a hard guy to figure out. But I don't care, he didn't bully me, that's good. But a friend of his met some guys on the road and asked who they were. The guys yelled, Su, he's Ling Feng's brother. And they heard everything. He also told him to go back to Ding Academy and find the director. Su said that they were mistaken, and he was not Ling Feng's brother. Su realized that they were looking for Ling Feng, but mistook him for his brother. Did the boys make a mistake, you ask? Then how did his cloak end up on him? And Su realized that Ling Feng had just given him the cloak to lure them. The guys asked if his name was Su. Su realized that he was in a bad way and said that Ling Feng was just a liar and died. Wu Yu said that he had killed his brother, and now he was going to kill him. But suddenly a strong wind blew and the boys looked up and saw a big creature. Wu Yu asked, what level bird is this? He hasn't seen one at all before, said Wu Yu. The next morning, news came to Lin Academy that Suzy and Wu Yu had been killed in the wilderness. The director said that Suzy was killed by Wu Yu, and Wu Yu was killed by some huge bird of prey. Bing Ming tarred Ling Feng. Did he hear that Suzy died? Ling Feng said Yuto is just horrible. It is said that he was killed by Wu Yu on the way home. Bing Ming said that it turns out that Ing Tsung's disciple killed Suzy, and he was killed by some bird of prey. Is that really possible, she asked? Ling Feng said that this place is far away from here, so it is possible to encounter a bird of prey. Bing Ming realized that it really wasn't Ling Feng's doing, so that was fine. Let Ing Tsung and Cho Tsung deal with each other on their own. Ling Feng said that of course it wasn't him. It has nothing to do with them at all. Ling Feng was glad that no one had figured him out. And no one knows what kind of bird of prey it is, and no one knows that he has such a bird. And now all the bad people are dead. No one will hurt Bing Ming and sister, said Ling Feng anymore. The martial arts competition between them and Mo Yutong was approaching. As he had only broken through to the level of a martial arts expert, there was still a lot of work to be done. He should go out and practice, and he needs to become much stronger, said Ling Feng. 3 months later, Bing Ming's voice could be heard again at the Ling Academy. She asked where Ling Feng was again. Sister said that Ling Feng often went into the wilderness to train. But today, he's been back for over a month. The intern said that today is already the competition between Mo Yuzong Academy and Linu Academy. Ling Feng must have forgotten. Sister said that he would definitely not forget. Teacher Bing Ming said it would be better if he forgot. Let him do alchemy with her. He's still a long way off from 100 different kinds of heaven-level pills. The trainee said that Bing Ming's teacher was worried about Ling Feng not fighting with others. Bing Ming denied everything and said she was not worried. Mo Tsung, the second strongest disciple of Linu Academy, asked why hasn't the draw started yet. Li Xiang said that all the teachers and students from both schools came, about 200 people. Not a bad rush for a 3-year competition. Li, the fourth strongest disciple, asked, those 3 among Mo Yuqiong's disciples are their most outstanding talents? Li Xiang said that they had lost to Mo Yuqiong Academy for 10 years in a row, and no wonder they were so shy. Li De said that in the past 6 months, Linu Academy has won 2 other competitions. And it's all credit to Ling Feng. Mo Kun said that weaklings like Ling Feng could only participate in such competitions for all comers. The competition between Linu and Mo Yuzong's academies is their business, after all. Li Xiang said that Mo Yuqiong's followers are very threatening this time. What does Doug think about it? Doug Yu, the strongest student of Linu Academy, said that the opponents are strong, but they are not weak either. The dean said to everyone's attention, they are looking forward to the start of the competition between their academies tomorrow. And now, said Dean, passes the word to Elder Mo to tell you all about the rules of combat. Elder Mo said that their competition consists of 2 parts. Each part consists of 4 rounds. The whole competition will last for 7 days. 200 disciples, 16 venues, one-on-one fights. The one who wins all the fights wins. The judge told everyone to come up to draw lots. The visiting team would draw first. When Mo Yuzong's disciple heard this, he ran first. It was one of Mo Yuzong's top 4 disciples, Ling Shui, and he will fight on the 7th court, the 5th fight. Mo Tsung said that this insolent boy just now, he just made fun of them. However, his speed is really good, don't underestimate him. Next to the lot went Lan Hao, one of the 3 strongest disciples of Mo Yuqiong, who will fight on the 13th court. Li Xiang said that the disciples look ordinary, they must be very talented, they definitely should not be underestimated. Dig said that it was said that Mo Yuzong's 3 strongest disciples had long ago reached the 8th level of martial artists, must have already reached the 9th level as well. But the influence all shouted that brother Ling Feng was coming. Ling Feng asked the teacher, what's his hurry? After all, the protagonist always appears at the last moment. But suddenly he saw Bin Ming and said hello. Bin Min told him how mean he was. He remembers when to come back here. He should have died in the middle of nowhere. Sister told teacher Bing Ming to just forgive him. He was probably just too engrossed in cultivation, so he came back late. Ling Feng said at least his sister understands him. And she's progressing incredibly fast. Only a month of not seeing her, and she's gotten so much cooler. The disciple said that Lin Qin is now officially among the top disciples. And of the 7th level martial arts experts, she is among the top 10 in swordsmanship. Ling Feng said then she would be among the top 20 or 30 competitors in the competition. In other words, if she was lucky, it was likely that she would be among the top 16 disciples. A female disciple asked brother Ling Feng his abilities had become much stronger now. Ling Feng said yes, they have become coarse and more powerful than ever. But suddenly, someone shouted to Ling Feng. Turning around he saw Dong Shui. She's one of Mo Yuqiong's top disciples. She lost to him in the recent competition, now looking much more powerful. Dong Shui said that she had come again. And she really wants to fight Ling Feng again, and put up a good fight. But suddenly, Ling Feng was taken from behind by someone, and he asked, what does Ling Feng Tian know? It was another one of Mo Yuqiong's gifted disciples. Recently, when Ling Feng used the alias of Lin Feng Tian, he had beaten him in the wilderness. However, his look is completely different. Ling Feng didn't even recognize him at first, and told him that he didn't know such a thing. Mo Yuqiong's disciple Shui Ling said that she had a premonition. A disciple like Ling Feng should definitely appear in the competition between their academies. Ling Feng said this while staring at him. A guy thinks he doesn't look like an ordinary person. Mo Yuzong Academy is up to something. It's full of unusual students. Dong Shui, Wu Yu, and that third one. The 4 disciples of Linu Academies are also high-level masters, and this would be a meeting of old enemies. The next day, the dean said he understood that everyone was agitated, but please keep it together. The dean will now declare the martial arts competition between Linu and Mo Yuzong Academies open. Ling Feng said he would go to the 16th court. Sister, be sure he will win. Her sister said that with the sword he won and gave her at that open competition, she was not afraid of anything at all. On the first court, Mo Yuzong's disciple John Ming came out. against the academy student Lin Ling Chin. John told the little girl not to take offense if it hurt. He is, after all, a level 5 martial arts expert. After striking Lin Qing, John didn't expect her to take the blows so easily. This is an unusual way of wielding a sword. Lin Qin said it was her turn, and gave a lunar level strike. John thought he could deflect it, but he couldn't and dropped out. The alchemy student said that Ling Qing was using lunar level techniques. Punching through this level 5 expert, of course he was no match for her. On the second court in the third fight, Doug Oe was victorious. And in the fourth fight on the 14th court, Mo Kan won. While the Linu Academy disciple was fighting with one Mo Yuzong girl, it was a very long time. His strength ran out and he gave in. Now what did the disciple ask? Here he was, he immediately surrendered in a fight with Li Xian. The pretty girl still admired him. The apprentice said it perfectly. After all, the top 4 disciples of Linu Academy are going without any losses so far. And Mo Yuqiong's top 3 are also winning, Dong Shui and Lin Yu winning time after time. Ling Feng told them to calm down and called them skillful. Like him, they don't lose at competitions. Ling Feng said he came here to have fun. Bing Ming told him not to fail. Why let him win for her sake, and pass to the next round. What is the next round? Ling Feng asked. After all, he actually expects to win, otherwise he wouldn't have come. The students started laughing because the alchemy student had decided to win the left arts competition between Linu Academy and Mo Yuqiong Academy. It's a challenge for the other students. Ling Feng said that they say that his rival's name is Wu Min. Where is that kid? He asked. After all, the guy wants to start earlier and finish earlier. But suddenly a guy came up from behind and said he was Wu Ming, and this is my opponent Ling Feng? He said he's going to finish Ling Feng off. Ling Feng had gotten a little too cocky. Mo Yuzong's team was up to something. How could one lose concentration? Ling Feng said that because of respect for him, he would fight at full strength. Ling Feng defeated Wu Ming with one punch, but Ling Feng's second opponent said he wouldn't dare to fight him. And he admits his defeat. Bing Ning said to Ling Feng that very good kid has already passed the 4th round. Why are you not happy? She asked. Ling Feng said that it was the 3rd day of the competition, and he didn't even break a sweat. Ling Feng shouted out that he was waiting to catch a dangerous opponent so he could have a good time. Here's the original 4th round. The final bout on the first court. The contestants are invited to the court. A student from Linu Academy, Ling Qin, and a student from Linu Academy, Mo Lan. Lin Qing said that luck was on her side as there was still no opponent who had defeated her so far. Mo Lan said that Ling Qing not only became more beautiful, but also developed her abilities. She is now a household name in the academy. Mo Lan has been preparing a lot and taking pills. She can't help but defeat her. Ling Qing said it would be very easy to defend against her punch. Just like that, simple and neat. Using a lion-level strike, Mo Lan said, although she hadn't mastered this technique enough, it would be enough to kill her. Lin Nim said. Mo Lan's sister said that she had already suffered an injury and needed to admit defeat. Mo Lan admitted defeat. After all, Lin Nim was worthless and weak before, but now she was more beautiful and stronger than her. Ling Feng said that he is very bored, and he doesn't know if the next opponent will be able to cheer him up. Mo Yuqiong's disciple Ling Chen told Ling Feng not to be too frivolous. After all, he had come to finish him off. He said he's one of their top students, and he's 4th in their top 3. Ling Feng said to start the fight faster, for his stick had been bored and eager for a fight for a long time. Ling Chen told Ling Feng that he was overconfident. He'll have to pay for his words. Ling Chen is a 9th level martial arts expert, and he launches an attack and delivers a level 5 yellow level 5 step strike. Ling Chen missed because of Ling Feng's fast speed, and now he wanted to use the yellow level ferocious tiger kick. And then there would be a dissecting kick. Ling Feng asked why he was doing all this. Unless he wants another stick kick in the ass. Ling Feng said he was shocked. And it's called a retaliatory strike. A triple attack. And the guy said he can also attack multiple times. But suddenly, Ling Fan used his exclusive fierce stick technique. But after throwing a few blows, he stopped and misfired, and said that Ling Chen is the 4th among the disciples. Miss Bing Ming told Ling Feng that good job, as long as he didn't disgrace the alchemy department. Ling Feng said that he hadn't had a chance to show off his strength fully yet. The 15th site where the battle between the two friends took place. Ching Chang said that she was incredibly talented to defeat him. After all, Ching Chang did not give in to her, she had already surpassed him. Keep it up and she would reach greater heights, he said. Seeing the list, the students said that they shouldn't be beaten by Mo Yutong this year. Before this, the difference in the level of the participants was huge. Some even reached this stage quite easily. The participants shouted that the table was unfair. After all, Ling Qing would be fighting the incredibly strong Doug Yu. And there will also be a fight between Lin Shui and Ling Feng. The old rivals will fight again. That night, Ling Feng at the table said that no matter what opponent, they should not be afraid, they should eat and sleep. On the 4th day of the competition, Ling Feng said that the atmosphere was better than the alchemy department. Bing Ming said it's nothing. It's just that once he starts making pills, there are always explosions. Meanwhile, as Lin Qing looked around and was surprised that everything was gathered around like this for her, it was a very huge pressure. The disciple told Lin Qing not to be afraid, and to do her best. Standing on top of each other, Ling Qing said that she was honored to fight Sister Doug in battle. While Doug told her to get ready, Bing Ming noticed that Lin Qing's sword couldn't withstand the blows. Unfortunately, the difference in strength is huge. Ling Feng said that it is very powerful, even being here, he can feel it. Without using any techniques, she is able to deliver such powerful blows. But suddenly, after a while, Ling Qing felt she couldn't cope and decided to give up. And Doug thanked her for fighting. Bing Ming said that she would take Lin Qing and go rest, and let the two of them stay and do their own thing. The student said that Du Eng was one of the best. Of course she would win, no way. Ling Feng said, however, the fact that his sister was among the top 16 contestants was a great result. For the second fight, Sun Tian from Mo Yuzong against Jing Gao from Linu Academy came out for the second fight. Song Tian said that's so time to show Linu Academy's real level. Jing Gao told him not to be so confident. After all, today he was going to trample one of Mo Yuqiong's top disciples. The student said that Qin Gao from their academy with looks like this fight will be intense. Ling Feng said no, and he thinks it's a matter of seconds. While Qin Gao was eliminated, Sun Tian won the battle. As he left, Sun Tian said that the students of Linu Academy were weak. The apprentice was surprised at how quickly he gained the victory. One strike from a level 5 martial arts master. She asked how did Ling Feng know about it. Ling Feng said that Sun Tian is the first of Mo Yuzong's disciples to go out to bat in the playoffs. Of course, he wants to instill fear in them. The third playoff fight was Li Sung from Linu Academy against Hanren from Mo Yuqiong. The students said that they say Hanren is very powerful. It seems like there will be a massacre here. But Ling Feng said it will be fast again, while Li Xian prodded. The student asked Ling Feng how he defines it. Ling Feng said that a weakling in front of a truly strong opponent could do nothing. The disciple thought that the next fight between Mo Yuzong's disciples, Ling Shui versus Ling Yu. Ling Shui is very strong and should defeat Ling Yu with one punch. Watching this, Ling Feng said that Mo Yuzong was very calculating. Ling Shui hadn't dropped out yet, but he still hadn't shown his true power. The apprentice told the chief that this kid is diligent. Obviously he is weaker than him, but how can he compete with him? The kid told him to try harder. Bing Ming asked Ling Feng why he came so late. The guy said that his fight would be his last, so he decided to take a nap. Lin Xin said the 5th fight has already come to an end. Li Du defeated Dong Xian. And the student said that the 6th fight is about to start. This Shui Lin is not so intimidating, but let's see if he can fight Wang Qi. Wang Qi said that his strength has run out. And let him not be beaten, he admits defeat in this fight. The female disciple said what a twist, just an unexpected outcome. While Ling Feng said that Shui Ling was much stronger, he was just playing for fun. Ling Feng pondered and thought that Shui Ling does not raise questions, and is a very mysterious fighter. But suddenly, someone shouted to Ling Feng. Turning around, Ling Feng said Mo Kan approached him through going out to fight. Ling Feng asked if he remembered their agreement. Mo Tsung told the guy to wait for a while. Once he finished off Luan Hao, he would definitely come after Ling Feng. Ling Feng told him to first see how he performed against Luan Hao, and then we would already talk. The student said finally some strong opponents have gathered. The fight will be very interesting. In the end, who will win? Lin Qin said she doesn't know either and thinks both of them are very powerful. Bing Ming said yes, what is there to think since both opponents are strong, they have the same chances? The student asked Ling Feng if he knew who would win. Ling Feng said he wasn't sure because he hadn't seen Luan Hao perform. Luan Hao said that Mo Khan is said to be in the top 4 in the second position, very curious how dangerous he is. Mo Khan told him, let him check it out. Luan Hao said something to see that they were not going to hide their abilities, and there would be a good fight. Mo Tsong said that he was now familiar with him, but before he could finish his words, Luan Hao threw a few punches and won. Ling Feng started laughing, for Mo Khan still wanted to show him what a true master was. Bing Ming admitted that she made a mistake. Originally the odds were not the same. Ling Feng said that the atmosphere was heating up. The morale of Mo Yuqiong's followers had risen. The disciple said that the next fight is a battle between Ling Feng and Dong Shui. Ling Feng said no problem, he's going to finish him off. Except your pairings are considered the weakest in this part of the competition. No one expects to see anything interesting. Ms. Bing Ming said that he is an alchemist and Dong Shui is not qualified enough. Naturally, no one will be interested in you. After all, Ling Feng always used one stick, so not everyone clearly understands your maxim. Ling Feng said it's too much. He will show them. Dong Shui said that he had waited for this moment for a long time, and let Ling Feng not disappoint him. Ling Feng told her to relax, after all, he will trample his hopes. Dong Shui said the genius of stick fighting and does not use the shelf. Is it okay? Ling Feng lost his temper and said that he shouldn't be called a stick fighting genius. As the fight started, Dong Shui shouted to Ling Feng that he was coming. After throwing a few punches at Dong Shui, he said that it hurt a bit. It turns out Ling Feng is so powerful. Ling Feng said the ability to withstand this blow shows that Dong Shui has also become stronger. Ling Feng said from Mo Yutsen's techniques have no creativity at all. What's tiger punches? What's dissecting punches? He's seen it all. Give me something more interesting. Dong Shui said he understood, and demonstrated a heavenly level technique. Chaotic rockfall. Seeing this, Ling Feng said, it's beautiful. There used to be only one rock, but now there are so many. The disciple said that because Ling Feng was dependent on the use of sticks, he was now suffering. Dong Shui said this is how it is. She tried her best and couldn't hurt him. Ling Fengge holding his hand on top said that this technique was very strong. He almost started to fight back. The disciples were surprised that almost nothing happened to Ling Feng. That was cool. Stick fighting genius, let's go. After throwing a few punches, Dong Shui lost her weapon, and Ling Feng threw a few strong blows and Dong Shui falling down said that history was repeating itself again. Ling Feng said that Dong Shui was very good, but unfortunately she lost again today. Bing Ning said that Ling Feng said I won't, but his body is more honest. Didn't he grab the stick like a little kid? Dong Shui said that she is not really upset. Ling Feng is getting stronger and stronger. Ling Feng said that Dong Shui's progress is also noticeable. She is one of Mo Yuzong's top talents. Ling Feng held out her stick to her. Dong Shui said that a stick fighting genius could be without a stick, and told him to take it with him to the next battles. Participants discussed that Linhu Academy did a good job this year of having their students in the top 8. Duoi said that it didn't seem like someone who would underestimate the opponent, unlike Mo Khan. The Mo Yuzong Academy disciple said that it would be much easier for him now that his opponent is an alchemist. He seems to be a third-level martial artist. It's not a big deal for him. The guy said that Ling Feng was incredibly young, and on top of his gift in alchemy, he also possessed a fairly high level of martial arts. This showed that he was a great talent. The guy said they should by no means underestimate him, because then we'll make a mistake and lose. The first battle of the quarterfinals. Duoi vs. Su Tian. Su Tian says they'll see who's more dangerous today, her or his knife. Striking with 9 levels of fire, he mostly missed, and decided it was going nowhere. After all, it only messes up the knife more. Duoi was fed up with all of this and decided to take matters into her own hands, and used a heaven-level technique. Supersonic attack. Su Chan said that the heaven-level technique was simply terrifying, but his 2 blades weren't that hopeless. So he decided to show off his most powerful strike. But in this fight, Diu was much stronger than him, and he lost. The referee announced that Diu was in the semi-finals. Analyzing the fight, Ling Feng said that Diu is very capable and strong. Not for nothing she is the first. Academy disciple Mo Yuqiong said that he didn't think Diu was that strong, telling his partner not to lose. Ling Shui said that everything was under control, as the second place in the competition had already been booked by him. Second fight of the quarterfinals. Ling Xian vs. Ling Shui. Ling Xian told her opponent that she came to smash him. Ling Shui called her little girl and said that he hoped she was at least a little dangerous and wouldn't be destroyed like Mo Khan. Lin Feng, watching the punch, said, "This is cool. The area is big enough. Ling Shui will need to defend himself." Li Xian was surprised that Ling Shui didn't even dodge her punches. Ling Shui said that she wouldn't catch him. If she could catch him, she would have won long ago. Ling Feng analyzed the fight and said that Li Xiang is excellent at long range, but close combat is her weak point. Li Xian said, "Ling Shui is definitely crazy. Not to be defensive and seek his death in the process of fighting." Li Xian said that she wanted to see what he could do. "Go ahead and take the arrow," and launched a killing arrow attack. But suddenly a bright light flashed, and no one saw anything. But suddenly, Ling Shui came out of the smoke and said that she had been caught. Ling Shui said that they were both 9th level martial artists. He still can't understand how he didn't win so quickly. Ling Feng said that this fighting method is doomed to failure. He seems to be willing to give up personal gain for the sake of his academy. A disciple asked Ling Shui, "Is he too injured?" Ling said, "Compared to Li Xiang's wounds, it's still nothing. In the next round, he will fight Du to the death." Striking Du said that they say this technique is one of the most popular in Linu Academy circles, right at the top. Fortunately, his punches are just as good. The guy said a level 9 martial artist, and he uses punches like that. So he's unusual. The student laughed and said stop praising him. He had broken through to this stage only through luck. The guy said he still wouldn't underestimate him, and would fight to the best of his ability. He said as an already disciple noticed, he is the strongest disciple of Linu Academy. He is not a level 9 martial artist, but already a budding martial arts expert. Shui Ling laughed, and said that the martial arts expert was very dangerous, and he wouldn't be able to defeat him with his own strength. Du decided to hit Shui Lin with his strongest punch, the Big Bear technique. But he suddenly missed and didn't realize what had happened. Shui Lin said that's the trouble? Because of the battle with him, he'll have to show all his abilities. Du was surprised and asked him if he was an expert too? It turns out this one is the strongest disciple of Mo Yuchiong Academy. After seeing Shui Lin fight, Ling Feng realized that the guy's abilities surpassed his abilities. He decided that he only had his last chance to take the pill in time, and shouted, "Give him strength." Shui Ling, seeing this, blew by whether he was planning to break through to one level above martial arts right here and now. After turning into a monster, Di said that he had been waiting for this moment to shock Mo Yuchiong Academy. Shui Lin said that it looked dangerous, and his techniques now looked insufficient for him. But suddenly, Di made a crushing attack on Shui Lin. But Shui Ling had time to make a counter-attack as well. Di asked, "Is this a heavenly level technique?" Shui Ling said correctly. "This is a heavenly level death spear." Di said that he needs more power, but he ran out of pill energy. Now it's very difficult for him to fight him. But Di had lost. Shui Lin said, due to his lack of experience and knowledge, he couldn't control a high-level force, so he would have lost anyway. The guys were so scared that they said Shui Lin is so dangerous. Is there anyone who can defeat him? Li Xian said that out of the top 4, only the girl went further. Now we can only hope that Ling Feng will beat Lun Hao. The girl said that Li Du tried hard. In fact, she was also not at all confident that she could beat Shui Lin. Mo Khan prayed that Lun Hao must win. If he lost to Ling Feng, then it would mean that he would lose to him as well. Ling Feng told Lun Hao to say how he wanted to be beaten, but in response, he received words not to be so talkative. After all, he's just some alchemist. Lun Hao said that Mo Khan couldn't withstand his triple punch, but would he be able to withstand it? With a flurry of strikes, Lun Hao realized that Ling Feng was able to withstand his devastating hail of blows. So, he decided to move on to heaven-level techniques. Ling Feng laughed and said that he didn't care what techniques he would show, and asked if he would show anything else or not. Lun Hao said, "It's time to take out the weapon," and he would make Ling Feng see the intimidating power of a 9th-level martial arts master. Ling Feng said that he would make Lun Hao see the intimidating power of a stick-fighting genius. Striking out, Lun Hao asked, "Is this the limits of Ling Feng's ability?" Ling Feng said, It seemed like the martial arts master had something that he couldn't easily defend against. In fact, Ling Feng said, he is a 5th-level martial artist. But this did not scare Lun Hao, and said that he was 4 levels above him. Ling Feng said that he had already broken through the level of a martial arts expert in independent practice, so his foundation was better than ordinary people. In addition, his tempered body is able to cover the difference of 4 steps. After striking, Lun Hao was lying on the ground and couldn't leave it to this kid to pass the finals. But Ling Feng told him to get up, for the battle was not yet over. Lun Hao told Ling Feng that he should lose today, because he is almost a martial arts expert. After striking, Ling Feng realized that he needed to change his attack, as his technique was not enough to crush Lun Hao. Ling Feng asked Lun Hao, is this his trump card? If it is, Ling Feng is very disappointed. So he decided to introduce him with one of his spiritual practice techniques. Ling Feng laughed and said that he was almost an expert, but not that cool. Lun Hao said spiritual practice techniques are very dangerous. Lun Hao lowered his weapon and said that he had lost. And with tears in his eyes, he admits his defeat. But suddenly, the guy from Mo Yutong said that this technique that Ling Feng used, he had seen him in the wilderness. So this is him, the very person that Mo Yutsen Academy guy is looking for. Ling Feng said it right, he's the same Ling Feng Tian. The guys saw this and said that the mysterious Teach is a stick-fighting genius. Now he defeated Lun Hao and made it to the semi-finals. Ling Feng is unbelievably cool. The guy from Mo Yuzong Academy said that Ling Feng was their common enemy, but unfortunately, he was getting stronger and more dangerous. Bing Ning said, damn boy, imperceptibly becoming incredibly strong in martial arts. Lin Nim said that she didn't even realize that Ling Feng was already a level 5 martial artist. Shui Ling said, finally everyone has finally started to show their power. I hope this isn't all Ling Feng can do, otherwise he will be disappointed. On the 7th day of the competition, the elder said that today was the last day of the competition between the academies. There would be 2 semi-final battles in the morning. The dean said the 2 winners will have a final battle in the afternoon, then the winner will be revealed. The semi-finals are now open. The first semi-final bout. Diyu vs. Ling Shui. Ling Shui thought that Diyu and Li Xiang are good at long-range attacks. All he has to do is to use close combat. After launching several powerful attacks, Diyu asked, and he would stop at the low blows? If Yudo is like this, then he has definitely lost. Ling Shui asked if Diyu could stop his strike, and struck the strongest blow with a deadly hail of swords. But Diyu retaliated, and Ling Shui said that it was tougher than his move. Sis is dangerous after all, and Ling Shui decided that he too was using one of the most dangerous techniques. Ling Shui told the girl that she had better defend herself well, or else she wouldn't escape the spawn. Carrying out several attacks, Ling Shui said that this incredible power was destroying his body. After the battle with Li Xing, he had not fully recovered. Now it was more difficult for him. However, he must not lose, he must win. Taking his sword, he shouted for her to let him thrust his sword into her. With each attack, he grew weaker and weaker, and at the right moment, he lacked just 1 step to win. Incredible power. He still lacked 1 step. That 1 step is really so hard. Ling Shui told his sister that he accepts his loss. And they have their first finalist, and it's Diyu. The fans shouted that Diyu was simply incredible. She didn't make a single move and defeated Ling Shui. And this is the first finalist who is a student of Linu Academy. But in this fight, Diyu lost a lot of strength and fell to her knees. At this time, Ling Feng came over to her and gave her a recovery pill. Diyu smiled sweetly, but her eyes still showed her immense strength. And taking the pill, she thanked him. Ling Hao said Diyu is injured, she will not recover in a short period of time. Ling Shui did well. Shui Ling said that he wanted Ling Feng to demonstrate the technique he used to defeat Ling Hao. As the fight began, both opponents flew at each other in different attacks, but they were so strong that they did not yield to each other. Shui Ling said that Ling Feng's strikes are strong, but these strikes of a level 5 martial artist are still far from his level. After all, he is almost an expert. Ling Feng said as he used a collapsing barrage of blows. It was indeed much stronger than what Lun Hao used. In this series of strikes, Ling Feng realized that he was less successful. A strong body was not enough. He must demonstrate everything he's learned. Strike with all your might. After striking Shui Lin, Ling Feng said it was his 7.5 tons heavy punch. He doesn't know if Shui Lin is able to continue fighting. The crippled Shui Ling said that he appreciated Ling Feng's abilities, but it was time to get out of the warm-up fights. Ling Qing said that Ling Feng was only a level 5 master, but was able to fight someone who was about to become a martial arts expert. But suddenly, after striking a few blows, Ling Feng felt his stick break and was very surprised by this. Shui Ling laughed and asked how would Ling Feng be without his stick. Ling Feng said he had a way out. And now they would both be without weapons. And he used his laser finger to smash his weapon. But a friend somehow Shui Ling hitting the stick pulled out another tip and asked who said he would not have a weapon. Shui Ling shouted that now was definitely his last moment. Ling said that he would use new techniques then too. After striking, Ling Feng said, Shui Ling lost. Shui Ling said something couldn't help but admit that he had lost this fight. But now he is moving on to the next stage, and from now on, he is no match for Ling Feng, saying that Ling Feng could be proud that Shui Ling would use all his might to destroy him. Shui Ling said that he was now a martial arts expert. But Ling Feng was not frightened or surprised by this, because every other martial arts expert is a martial arts expert. Where did Ling Feng ask with such self-confidence? And unleashed a piercing blade technique attack, hitting his 7.5-ton defense hard. Ling Feng was thrown backwards. Ling Feng said that he had been blown away. It was a good thing that his body was strong enough, or else he would have only lost. Ling Feng stood up and said that Shui Lin's attacks were very dangerous, as he was even able to repel his attacks. But he said that the specialty had one more spiritual technique, and if Shui Ling were to resist after that, then Ling Feng had definitely lost. Taking the full strength of Linu Academy and Ling Feng's spiritual sources, Ling Feng used the spiritual technique, the flame tongue.